like to give people time because not everybody's on time like we are. Okay, y'all, not everybody's on time. So we're going to give some people some space to get in. And with that being said, y'all know how this goes. I am your host, and I always have a lovely icebreaker. And today is no different. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to come off mute, dip and do and discuss with me real quick while we're waiting for people to come in. While you're doing that, if you have not already set up your Dispute Panda, I do have the website up. We are going to start together, and we're going to share some best practices. We're going to talk about need to know how to do business well. So in the chat right now, I have dropped the Dispute Panda. We got a bunch of people coming in. I have dropped the disputepanda.com to start on the main page. If you guys have already set up your Dispute Panda profile, no worries, no fret. Just hang in there with me. Once we're done with the onboarding, we will definitely open up Q&A. I'm all about answering questions. And if I don't know, you know I will find the answer for you, honey. That's why we're here, okay? But I wanted to go ahead and do today's icebreaker question. And today's icebreaker question is, what is your favorite financial or credit-related book, podcast, or resource that has helped you in your business journey or on your business journey? Anyone that wants to answer, y'all can come off mute. Go ahead. So, question of the night is, what is your favorite financial or credit-related book, podcast, or resource?
I got one.
Yeah, what you got?
The Creatures from Jekyll's Island.
The what?
Creature from Jekyll's Island.
What's that about?
The financial system, how it works, and them meeting, and the government and a private set of crews that set up the credit system, set up the whole system.
Okay, drop that in the chat, because you know I like to read. Especially when I'm trying to hide out from my children. I will go in the bathroom and take a book. I don't know who else does that. I will go in the bathroom and take a book, y'all, and then just disappear for a little while. My bathroom in my house, my bathroom is where my closet is. So I'll act like I'll go to the bathroom and go to my closet, and I have a nice little chair and everything set up in that room to hide out from my people, okay? So Willicent, I believe is how I said the name. If I said it wrong, please correct me. But Willicent said, as a man, I think she meant to say thinketh, or As a Man Thinker by James Allen. I think it's As a Man Thinketh. Not quite sure. Yes, she said thinketh. See, I you know, because I think I that's why. Think already. So there are several books that I love to read. As a matter of fact, I'll go, hold on, because I keep them up here. Hold on. Ooh. And I'm just dropping everything. Okay, so FCRA, D. Smith said, okay, I like that. Any other, does anyone listen to podcasts about credit or financial tips? No, nobody's into podcasts. I'm just getting into the podcast realm just because I have like a couple of projects coming up. And with the projects coming up, it makes it feasible for me to go on podcasts to kind of like insert my brand here to help. Okay, McCoy said, I know you ain't typing, McCoy. Now, I know you come off mute. I know you come off mute now. Sitting here talking about he's shy today. You see how? Oh, come on, McCoy. Oh, take that mute off. What's the book Conspiracy of Credit about?
My mute was acting crazy. I didn't want to interrupt you while you was talking. That's why I typed it. But the Conspiracy of Credit is by Corey P. Smith, and he breaks down the origins of credit, where it started, who the owners are, how much the credit bureaus actually own, so that you can kind of get a better perspective of what is actually going on in the credit world that we don't see on the surface.
Okay. Ooh,
And
okay.
also he helps with disputing credit and stuff like that, showing you how to go about disputing it the right way. Some of his stuff is dated, but the book is still valuable.
It's still valuable. Okay. And then 13157.
And he talks about the automated.
He talks about what?
The E-Oscar, how to outsmart E-Oscar.
Ooh. I like that. So see, I like the reason why I like these questions and why I like to have these icebreakers is because all of us are on our journey in different spaces, right? And some people have been researching for a long time. Some people have not, and they need to kind of have a starting point. And I think that having the ability for everyone in the space of expertise that you guys are in to be able to share that wealth of knowledge to people that come into the room makes it completely amazing. So just to run over the books that have been mentioned. So the icebreaker for everyone who's just coming into the room, the icebreaker question today was, what financial or credit related book, podcast, or resource has helped you on your business journey or just in life in general? So one of the books were As a Man Thinketh, the FCRA, D. Smith. Mr. McCoy said Conspiracy of Credit. 13157. I'm gonna need you to start putting your name. I like names. Okay. I like to know who I'm talking to. So that I could be like, hey, Brad, hey, Josh, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know my name. Because I'm gonna see y'all all the time. It was The Creature from Jackal Island by Edward Griffin. Okay, Dwayne, see, and look at that. You know I like me Dwayne now, because I grew up on what you call that show? Hillman. Y'all remember the show I'm talking about? Jada Pinkett was on it. Don't worry, I'm not saying that because Jada's in the news, but y'all know I'm talking about. A Different World. Dwayne and Whitley. Okay, yes, I love that. Okay. So for all of you guys that are here, I'm going to tell you guys about my two favorite books that I have used. One is You Are Approved. I had gotten this book a while ago, and when I got the book, it was because I didn't understand why my clients were getting denials when their number was great, right? And a lot of times when I first came into the industry, it was the score. And as you start learning, you're learning that the score is great, but just like our bodies need to be good, that body got to be body. Okay, so you got to make sure that your client doesn't have what's their debt to income ratio, what credit card will allow you to have a certain debt to income ratio. So I'm quite sure that this information has changed, but this was one of the books that I received. I have gone in and I have updated the information. So that's why y'all see a couple tabs. Like when I find out new information for American Express or Barclays, or if a credit card is listed in here that is no longer applicable because that credit card has closed or whoever's sponsoring them has closed, I go ahead and write it down in here. But it does give me a great starting point when I'm dealing with clients to have a basic understanding of where they can fit and what cards would help them. And then I've also taken this and added cards in this book also, like just when I find out, because you guys know secondary cards or second chance cards happen all the time. So you got to be researching, okay, and know what's going on. But this was a good book for me to educate my clients, like when I did a coaching call, to say, hey, you do realize that if you're going to Bank of America and you're wanting like a rewards card, they're looking for this credit score, and here's what an auto deny will look like. So you can't even get to auto underwriting if you have these things. So this is one book that I have. And then this is another book that I use for content. It's called Money Hacks. My primary audience are women. So a lot of times we love hacks. Like, we love to know how to navigate the waters and how to do it well. So this book is by Lisa Rowan. And I actually got it from Five and Below. So I don't know if you guys know about Five and Below, because I did not know about Five and Below when I lived in like Brooklyn and or when I lived in Florida. But if you guys happen to have a Five and Below, I literally got this book from Five and Below. And one of my girlfriends that was in marketing was the one who told me about this book. And she was like, hey, I went to Five and Below and I found the book. And I got it, and I actually sent it out to a couple of my coaching clients that I had that were in this space, so that they would have some really great ideas that they can post online organically to gain traffic with just basic knowledge. So those are my books. Super excited that you guys are here. As you know, I love to make sure that we have a really good flow, and we are going to start from the beginning. So everyone who has already signed up for Dispute Panda, hang in tight. We are going to go over the main page. I'm going to play a really short video, and then we are going to load yourself or your client into the software. I always recommend that if you are doing credit repair, that you want to make sure that you are also putting yourself in the system, so that you know exactly what it looks like, what is your client seeing on the other end, all of those amazing, yummy things, because you can speak from a level of expertise, whether you have good credit or not. And I tell this story all the time. I have an accountability partner. If you guys do not have one, y'all need to get one. Okay, in these streets, I promise you, they hold you accountable. And my accountability partner is a beast. But one of the biggest things that we fought about was she has a 700 credit score. And she was like, I don't need to pull my credit. I don't need to pull my credit. But she was coming into this space, and she really had a lot of questions. And I was basically like, load yourself in the software and follow the same flow that you would follow with a client. Sorry. Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Yeah?
Yes.
Y'all can hear me? Cool, thank you so much. So I was telling her to load herself in the system. I was like, load yourself in the system, because once you load yourself in the software, you'll be able to know what these letters look like. How quickly do they respond? If a client says something like, oh, I don't have a card, I didn't get anything back, you can literally educate them because you have already seen it on your end, right? So I think it took her like 3 months to finally listen to me. And when she pulled it, lo and behold, there were errors on her credit report, because you are writing your name down and there are people that are humanly putting this information into the profile. So no, she didn't have any late payments. No, she didn't have any collections, but there was cleanup that needed to happen on her profile. And had she never pulled that information, she would have never been aware, and she would not have been able to track. So we here like to tell you that you should be your first client. Okay. And then coach your husband and your wife into it. Okay. All right. That's what I say. So with you guys being here, I'm taking you on to the regular main page for Dispute Panda. So if you are looking to sign up, this is where you would start. So I'm going to drop it in the chat again. On this page, it has loads of information. I'm going to go through all the tabs. I'm going to tell you exactly what I need you guys to pay attention to, what you need to download. After we get through the onboarding process, we're going to open up a channel for you guys to ask some Q&A questions. And then I'm going to let y'all have the rest of y'all Monday back once we are done. Okay, so hope y'all are ready. Before we get started, does anyone have any questions? Is everyone at their computer? And just for the record, I like to see faces, y'all. Okay, I love to see y'all faces. So thank you for all of those that are capable of turning on your camera. I greatly appreciate it. For those that may not be, no worries. But I love to engage, see what you guys have going on, and it gives me the ability to know if y'all have questions. So any questions before I get started, guys? Okay, go ahead, unmute. What questions do you have?
I signed up to I signed up to run my own business. Does that apply to tonight's what's going on tonight? Is Dominic here, or does I'm trying to figure out when is he gonna get a chance to talk to us about that.
Okay, so when you said that you signed up to run your own business, did you sign up for Dispute Panda regular, or did you sign up to Dispute Panda Pro, or are you in the CRBB class? Very good.
I signed up for Dispute Panda Pro, and I'm in the CRBB class.
Awesome.
So that's where I'm asking about.
Okay, so the Dispute Panda Pro class is every Thursday. We meet on Thursdays for the CRBB program, and we go over your weekly information. So if you've already signed up for Pro, you will get an email on Thursday that tells you to come in the room where Dominique is going to go over the CRBB layout and have those full conversations. Tonight is onboarding for Dispute Panda. So if you have not loaded a client, which includes yourself or any clients you may have, this will be the class for you to learn how to use the software. Whether you're pro or regular, it would still be able to navigate you through the software. So have you already gone through one of these classes?
Yes, I already been through the class, and I've already loaded clients. So yeah, I've been through it.
All right, no problem. So yes, so the follow-up question is, if you're in the pro and you're in the CRBB group, that meeting is on Thursday. Y'all will see me and Dominique on that Thursday. But today is just for Dispute Panda onboarding people. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the question. Okay. So as y'all can see, I like to be interactive. I like to get into it with y'all. Okay. So we're going to get started with the homepage for Dispute Panda. Anyone who is not able to be on their computer right now, do not fret. You will have access to the replay. So you'll be able to see everything that's going on. So we're going to dive in. We're going to try and get into this. And we're going to start with pricing. So when you guys come into the page, for you to sign up, you have to click on this button to sign up. These tabs are all necessary, and I want to review them so you can understand the perks, the privileges, kind of like what you're diving into as it pertains to the actual software. All right. So we're going to get started with pricing. So pricing is, for everyone who is here, you guys know that Dispute Panda, the standard Dispute Panda, is $3.99. So you can get Dispute Panda whether you want to do it for yourself or you want to be a CRO, which is a credit repair organization. You can elect to have the free program. The free program gives you access to letters. It's a CRM platform, which means a client relationship manager platform, where you can load clients' information. You can have their identification there. And then every month you come in, you generate your letters, you dip and you do, right? The pro version, it gives you the ability to go ahead and actually have a two-way facing program. So there's one for yourself, for you to manage your clients, and the other facing program is for your clients to log in. They can have secure communication through the portal, and that is $197 per month, but we do have a trial going on for 14 days for only $1. Or you can choose to pay for it for a year and you get 2 months free. The pro program, as you heard Mr. Dwayne speak about it, the pro program allows you to get into the credit repair business blueprint. It is inclusive with the pro group. So you have the ability to meet with Dominique on Thursdays. He will go over any questions. You actually have a flow that you're working through in order to be in the class. And that way you can go from a novice, right, not really knowing what's going on with credit, to actually knowing how to be a beast in these credit streets and get clients. Okay, come on, let's get into it. So question in the chat is, so if you're not in the pro course, can you still get help with understanding on how to remove negative items with Dispute Panda? Absolutely. If you have questions, we are here. We do open the floor at the end. So no matter if you're in pro or not, we are here for the onboarding on Mondays and Wednesdays to dive in and support you as much as we can. And again, if there's a question that is asked that I may not have the answer to, I will make sure that we get the answer and we bring it back on Wednesday or the following Monday. So you have come to the right place. So either platform, whether you get the pro or if you get the free plan, you have access to the same letters, and you're able to go ahead and navigate the software properly. So the pro version, I just went over, it gives you the ability to interface with your client. And we're going to dive into those options a little bit more so you can understand what the perks are once we finish setting up the profile, okay? What I want to do is, I'm not going to go to integration just yet and calculators. I want us to jump over to training. So it is very important that we are on this training space, okay? Any questions you have, if I'm not here, if David is not here, if JM is not available, we want you to be able to get into the software, be a beast in these credit streets, and really know where to navigate. The most important part of Dispute Panda, especially if you are new to navigating credit, is this attack flow. The Dispute Panda software already comes with proven attacks, and you get to know them from day one. So you don't have to figure out what letter do I send first, how do I send them, what flow am I sending it to. I promise you, if you click this free download option, you will have a step-by-step guide as to what you need to do for your clients. So we're going to dive into this once we've loaded ourselves into the system, okay? But this is where you want to start. And when you go down, if we are not here, but you have questions, there is full training. There's specific training on just getting started and how to dive in, disputing questions, as well as mailing and attacks. Okay, so the software, whether it's free, whether you use the Panda Standard or you use the Panda Pro, does offer the ability for you to let Panda send off the letters for you. So they're giving you access to know what does that look like, what do you have to pay attention to, as well as what these attacks are and how to move from flow to flow. So we're going to touch into that today, but I definitely want you guys, if you are at your computers, click on the training tab. I want you to click on free download and download your stuff today. It is very important that you have this saved because it is going to be your disputing Bible. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it to you. All right, so the following tab, and I will go back here. The integration is for you to be able to use Zapier, which is a program that can connect to multiple softwares to help you work more efficiently. I think this is very beneficial to the pro users who are trying to get their email sequences, text messages, Dropbox, all of that together. You are able to do that with the pro. And of course, I love the contact. I always talk about the contact. You can see it here, and I will show you where you can see it on the platform as well. So if you have a question that is specific to a client, you will be able to upload the information. You can tell them what the client's name is, all of that contact information. Is it a document question? Is it a round question? And it kind of gives you an idea of how to ask the question that you're looking for. If you have a general question like, hey, I have a show coming up and I want you to advertise with me, you can come here and you can put that information in there and send it over to the team. One thing I want you guys to know is that Dispute Panda's customer service is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you have questions, concerns, or comments, or if y'all like me, I work my 9 to 5, I have my business, and sometimes I'm disputing at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So if I have a question at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I have help to make sure that I'm doing what I need to get done. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to take you guys into the platform and we are going to get started with loading in 1 second. I'm actually going to I'm going to go ahead and play this video so you guys can see it. When I do that, I want you guys to tell me if you can hear my sound really quickly. So we're going to go through the first steps of the video, and then after we do that, we're going to actually do it together so that everyone has space. I want to make sure my audio is good. So hang on one second, guys. Share. Let me know. Can you guys hear this? Give me a thumbs up.
In this tutorial, we're going to cover the dashboard tab,
You can hear
settings,
it? Thank you.
adding yourself as a client, adding someone else as a client, or adding all of your clients for another credit repair software to Dispute Panda. So first, let's look at our dashboard tab. Once you log in, you'll come to a screen that looks like this. And let's do a quick overview. So your to-do list breaks down the things that you need to do for the clients that you've added. So if you added yourself to Dispute Panda, once 35 days has passed, you will have something on your to-do list specifying that you need to move forward. Missing documents will specify all the clients that are missing documents. And then birthdays are showing the clients that have birthdays coming up. You have the ability to upgrade to Dispute Panda Pro. We'll cover Dispute Panda Pro in a different tutorial. You also can become an affiliate of Credit Dyno. So Credit Dyno is the recommended credit monitoring for Dispute Panda. When you use Credit Dyno at the time of this recording, you will receive a free attack every 35 days. And there's another training for that. If you click this Become Affiliate, you can become an affiliate of Credit Dyno and earn up to $22 for every referred client that signs up for Credit Dyno monitoring via your link. We'll also send an email to support@creditdyno.com for their additional affiliate commission plans. All right, that is our dashboard tab. Let's add ourselves as a client to Dispute Panda. So you want to go to clients, and then you're going to see a screen that looks like this. You have your active clients and inactive clients here. You can search for clients. You can use a filtering system. So as you add more clients or people that you would like to help, you can use the functions here to navigate them easily. When you hit the new client, you want to fill all this information in. Now, this is important. Everything you put here will be on the letters that you send to the credit bureaus. So you need to make sure that the first name, last name, middle name, phone number, last 4 digits of the social, the street address, all of this has to match what is going to be on your identification documentation that you're sending as well. And we're going to get into that in a second. If you are adding yourself into Dispute Panda first, putting your first name, last name, and everything like that, be mindful of your email address. You cannot use the same email that you use to sign up for your Dispute Panda account. So let me fill this out to give you an example of what I mean. Now, I've completed this as a new client, and I use the same exact email address that I used to establish my Dispute Panda account. If I was to go to click save here, you're going to get an error message. Client cannot have the same email address as CRO. What this means is you cannot use the same account you're using to log into Dispute Panda as your own client. So you have to have a different email address. So if you wanted to use the same email address and it's the Gmail, you can just add a plus here, and then I'm able to save. Once you create yourself inside of the system, you add clients manually the same exact way. Now, if you're an existing credit repair company and you're moving from other softwares, you can do a mass import of all your clients by using the import function here. Once you click the import button, you will click upload a CSV file using this template. So you can go to your other credit softwares, you can download your list in an Excel file, and then you want to modify that list to make sure it looks like this template. So let me open up the template for you. So that template file looks like this, and it includes everything that's needed to create a client. So all the fields here are all the fields that we just manually inputted. So once you have your list from your other credit software, you will come in and then you will add them here too. You just pretty much add a row, you'll put the email in, the first name, the middle initial, if they have one, the last name, Suffix is not required. Phone number is your date of birth, your last four of your social, your street address, your city, the state. Put US as the country. Everything will populate easily. If you are having issues doing a mass import, you can send an email to info@disputepanda.com. If you provide a CSV file or an Excel sheet with all of your clients, support can help you do a bulk import of your clients. So let's move on.
All right. So any questions with the video that we watched? How many people here are active CROs and how many, by show of hands? Come off mute. Give me a dab. Dennis came off. Hey, Dennis.
I'm one.
You're an active CRO. So you have multiple clients.
No, I don't have multiple clients yet. I just started up the pro. I'm looking to. I guess I didn't know what it meant.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, so you are going to be a credit repair organization. You're going to actually help clients and get moving. I love that. Okay. I love that. I love that. Okay. And then Dennis, were you trying to tell me that you were one as well? iPhone 7 said that I'm just trying to do it. Okay, I like to read the room. Okay, honey. So we're gonna dive into this together. All right. So for all of those who are credit repair organization, I want you to pay attention to how we're loading if you're new to the system, but I also want to go over some billing information once we get into the software. So we're going to start from the beginning because that's the best way to do it. Come on, Tiffany, with clients. Hey, okay. So to get started, as you saw in the video, you want to load your information in. So for me, I am going to put my info in here. Gmail. So you put your name, your information. If you have a corporation, you can put your corporation information in here. If you do not have one, as you can see, it's optional. You do not have to stress about it, okay? I promise you, you can go ahead and leave it blank. And then if you decide, once you get your cousin, your uncle, your friends, all of them to sign up and you get them good credit and they refer clients for you, then you can come back in here and add your business name. So it is not necessary for you to have, but you can add it as you maneuver. All right. So then you're going to put your password in. You're going to create a password. And I like to keep the password because I promise you, y'all, I forget everything. And sometimes I talk too much and it's time's out. So I'm sorry. People keep coming in, so it's kicking me out when I try to type. Okay, here we go. My apologies. Okay, so as you guys are going through, it is going to, oh, see, I told you it has all my business. It knows I'm here. So as you can see, I've already created a platform before, so it won't allow me to use this email because this email already exists. So I'm just going to spice it up a little bit so that it'll let me go ahead and keep moving. Okay. Ms. K, I see that you have a question. You can definitely come off mute. Does it have anything to do with the onboarding?
Are you talking about me, Kiana?
Yes, Ms. Kiana, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you have a question about onboarding or something else?
No, I already created a profile. But I have a question. It's for this, but it's not the onboarding part.
Okay, hang tight. I'm going to open a Q&A and then we can go over any questions you have. And do not be nervous. Do not fret. You have a whole community here and we're going to make sure that you're supported through the process. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, just my pleasure. Hang tight and I promise you, keep the hand up. Don't drop it. That way you're still first in queue when we open Q&A. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So right here's your service agreement. I definitely recommend that if you have questions, concerns, comments, you read this information. It's telling you how Dispute Panda does business and how it's going to hold you accountable while you're doing business. So it's definitely something that you want to read over. For the purpose of onboarding, I have already read it because I do have an account already. I am going to go ahead and accept it, but you definitely want to come back and read it as you go through. Now, once you have set up your profile, if you guys are doing this in real time, you will see that it has a verification email. It will still allow you to utilize, when I say it, the system will still allow you to leverage and work around and maneuver in the software, even if you haven't verified. But when you get off the call today, if you did not click the verification button, I want you to make sure that you do come in and verify your email so you can use the software seamlessly, okay? So I like to go over the main points on the side here, and we're going to dive into them, what they are, how they're beneficial for you, all of the good stuff. So the dashboard is your main board. So when you come on in, if you have become an actual affiliate to Credit Dino, you have the ability to click on this link and you'll go over, and I am going to show you the benefits of Credit Dino. We're going to dive into that. If you want to do Pro or you already have Pro, you can go ahead and click this to upgrade. But this is basically your main page that you're going to come into every time you sign in. Okay. Remember, whatever email and password you use to log in or to sign up is what you're going to use to log in. So I just used mayraqueldavid@yahoo.com. When I come back in to sign in or to log in, I'm going to use that same information with the password I wrote down today. Okay. There are two ways for you to get to your clients once you have clients loaded. One is up here. You are required to type in 3 letters in order for it to pull your clients out. If you do not type in 3 characters, it will not be able to pull any clients. If you have no clients, like we don't any right now, this is where you would go to either import or to add a new client. Okay, is the main screen. This tab here that says letters is a twofold tab. So one, any letters you have already generated for clients, you will be able to see the client's name, the letter attack that you've used, or the attack name, how many letters were sent out, date and time that they were sent. And if you have used the tracking software, you'd be able to see that information as well. And we will go ahead and talk about that once we get to the letter phase, okay? If you have upgraded, I said uploaded, Lord. If you have upgraded to Dispute Panda Pro, like I said, it's a consumer facing program as well. The Pro gives you the ability to have email correspondence to your clients. So you will be able to send emails to them. They can send emails to you in the secure portal, and you'll be able to see it in this tab. Over here, when you get to reports, this report is for all of the credit reports you pull in for your clients. You'll be able to see them. And they are rolling out a new feature where it gives you a great tool for you to be able to do a wonderful audit with your client, and like a monthly audit, like, hey girl, hey, you using too much of this credit card, stop playing with me. I'll take you outside. And I'm not gonna take you outside because I'm sure I'll fight. But you have the ability to have that discussion. And if you're with Pro, you have the ability to have different subscriptions. So for me, I have 3 different plans. I have one plan that is specific to if I'm helping someone who just may have gotten out of being incarcerated or an abusive situation, or a promo package that I might offer. That's a lower tiered package. So I can create different subscriptions. And then I have a standard package, which if I don't have any bankruptcies, things of that nature, I'm charging you one price. For me, if you have bankruptcies and all the other stuff, I'm charging you a different price. Okay. So you are able to build out your client subscription. And you are also able to create different payment forms. And this is also a Pro feature. All right. And then y'all know I love me the training tab. Takes me right back to training. So if you are in the software and you actually have questions and you're like, hey, I don't necessarily want to reach out to contact us, I kind of want to see if I can find this, you can click on training. It will take you to the training platform and you will be able to go ahead and get all the good tea. okay, from the training platform. And the contact us button we did review before. I wanted you guys to see that it's also in the main tab for you when you are on Dispute Panda. So you don't have to go searching. They want you to be able to speak to customer service 24/7. Okay, we love and care about you. This balance. So with Dispute Panda, in order to generate a round of letters, which we call an attack, that round costs $17. On the main dashboard, which I love to explain, you are able to go ahead and sign up as an affiliate for Credit Dino. Credit Dino is the partnered software with Dispute Panda that allows you to not just get 2 years of credit monitoring for your clients, but a full 7. So a lot of times you'll have clients come to you, or you'll look at your credit report and it will show it was derogatory, but for the last 2 years, it's showing everything's on time. The reason being is that most credit monitoring sites only give you 2 years of history. Credit Dino gives you the full 7. So you are able to physically look and see, okay, I see why it says derogatory, because back in 2015, I was, or let's say back in 2020, back in 2021, I was late this time and this was the time frame, and you're able to look at it and literally see where it falls, versus when you're looking at the other credit monitoring sites, you do not have that accessibility. You have to wait until the disputes come back and the credit bureaus send the full files to your client for you to be able to educate them on their full 7 years of behavior. Okay. Try to tell my kids, you can't just be nice today because he has a track record. Okay. It's the same thing with credit. With Credit Dino, if you or your clients have Credit Dino, you actually have the ability to get a free round of attack every 35 days. Okay. So you can come here and you can sign up to be an affiliate, or I'm going to drop this in the tab. So while we're going through this, guys, you can actually sign up here. If you do not want to have an affiliate, but you want to sign up for Credit Dino so you can dispute your profile for the free 99, you can go ahead and come to Credit Dino. I've dropped the information in the chat, and you are able to click sign up today. And as you signing up for yourself, you do get a 7-day free trial, and then it bills you $29.99. When you are an affiliate and you send this out to your client, they bill the $29.99 day of. So I like to be upfront. I like to keep it funky. All right. Tell y'all the tea so that you know what's going on. And of course, you get commission from every client that signs up to the Credit Dino if you are an affiliate. Okay, so that's a great way to have passive income. And especially if you're thinking about doing this as a business, this is something that I personally do every single month. At the top of the month, I'm always like, hey, y'all, who checked your credit this month? Because I want it to be on the forefront when you come to my page that I don't play about credit. I don't play about my kids. I don't play about my credit. Okay, I don't care about chocolate. I don't pay about chocolate either. Those are 3 things I don't play. No. So once you get to this screen, this is the billing screen that you are able to upload. I'm going to go over the settings that are on here as well, so that so everyone can see what's going on. So the first one is your profile. So this is you as the individual, right? You can put your picture on there so that you can see your beautiful self all the time. Okay. You can put your picture on there, and clients, you can also see it when they go in, they know who their person is if you're using the Pro. Your organization, you are able to go ahead and put your company logo in. If you have a website, phone number, email, whatever, you can put all those pieces of information on here. And if you already have a contract, you are able to plug the contract here for your clients to be able to leverage. One of the things that y'all come and y'all hear me say, one of the things I love, but one thing I love about this platform is that I can delegate. So on my software, I do have a family run company. So my daughter and my son help me generate letters and get it mailed out. So they are listed as team members, but they are assigned to specific clients. in the software. So when they go in under their own login, their own password, they cannot make any edits to anything else within my platform. So once you guys move from being a secular, or you decide to hire a VA or get some support, you can give them access to your platform without leaving yourself exposed for them to be able to make changes or do anything that could harm your brand or your vision, right? Also, if you have affiliate links with other credit monitoring softwares, you have the ability to plug this in here so that on the client, on the actual client portal, they'll have an option to click the credit monitoring that you desire for them to utilize. These are the ones that are compatible with Dispute Panda. That's why they're already populated here. So if you elect to go ahead and sign up with any of these affiliates, that's fine. But we are definitely trying to rep Credit Dino so y'all get some free disputes. Okay. So disputing options. So I like to be honest and advise that there are like 7 to 8 different addresses for all of the credit bureaus. Okay. So if you see that sometimes your letters are being returned, or you see that there's an address moving more than another, like I want to say 6 months ago, TransUnion's 2000 address wasn't working. My clients' letters were coming back. So I had to switch to the 1000 address, and it was still working fine. So just keep an eye out. You'll be able to monitor it and see that information. And also when the credit report comes in, it gives that information too, as to like what bureau is sending the information from what address. So you have a good way of knowing, okay, this is time for me to edit it. So if you do have to change it, you can literally come in here and change this 1 to a 2. You hit save changes, and then when your letters generate, it will automatically generate to that updated credit bureau address that you have on file. All right. Billing. I like to get into billing. So several things that we kind of came across that I love to give y'all a tea about. When it comes to the billing department, you are able to go ahead and add a card on file. So every time you come back, you can re-up with ease. Okay. What I want to stress is for the people who are credit repair organizations, meaning your intent is to be in business, not just fix your own credit. You do not use your client's credit card in this space. You are operating as a business. So your credit card information goes in here. If you're charging your client $50, $70, $120, $200, you are collecting your payment from there. And then whatever you're wanting to pull, or if your client say is not with Credit Dino, they're with Smart Credit or someone else, you want to make sure that your credit card is in here, not your client's. Okay. It is very, very important that you do not miss that step. You're not putting anyone else's credit card in there, because there have been some issues, and what we don't want to happen is that there are any chargebacks, or your company doesn't look professional. You have to make sure that your credit card information for your business is there. When I first started doing credit, I like to be honest, I did use my personal credit card. But I had a designated credit card specifically for the business that was personal, until I decided to open up my bank account and do all of the things, right? But you want to make sure that your credit card information is on there, not your clients. Over here, they have the subscribe and save. What was going on is that we were becoming aware that there's a certain amount of credits that were being purchased. So it was either $20 or $60 were the most purchased numbers. So what we decided to do at Dispute Panda was, okay, well, they decided to go ahead and give you a subscribe and save. So now you can pay $20 a month and you will get $30 in credits every month, or you can pay $60 and you get $90 in credit every month. Again, this is going to be your credit card that you're plugging in here to go ahead and maneuver through the system, and you're able to save, and every single month we'll just pull that information. If you're like me and I don't like that save, because I like to buy in bulk, I just come here and you can literally just put in the amount that you want to purchase. You hit checkout and you're good to go. You just plug it in and you can use your debit, credit card, or your check information to go ahead and purchase the credits that you need. All right. Invoicing here is when you're, like we stated before, you have the subscription, you're able to go ahead and invoice your clients. You see how many credits you purchased, things of that nature on file. This activity tab actually tells you what attacks have you done for which clients. If you do the mailing option, it will also track the mailing information there for you as well, and what the cost is. And of course, we have the integration that is with the Pro. As I told you, that you can use with Zapier and allow your software to work a lot smoother with multiple platforms. And then they're going to start doing the Dispute Panda referral program. So you have the ability that if you have friends or someone else, once you're going out, like if you go to realtors group and the realtor's like, hey, yeah, I want to get into credit myself, you have the ability to go ahead and refer them and actually get commissions off of that. So that is actually going to start rolling out. And I'm super excited about that. So before we dive in, does anyone have any questions about what we've covered so far?
Yes, with the invoices, do we connect like a Stripe account or something? Okay, because I don't think I've seen that part, so I was just curious.
So when you go into your platform, yes, you can go ahead and set up your payment, but you're going to want to use, we don't recommend Stripe. We don't recommend PayPal. That's why there is a merchant service option. JM, if you can you drop the merchant service option that you can utilize? You will be able to go ahead and integrate that merchant service provider in the Pro under the invoicing. So when you go into that tab, you will have the ability to go ahead and add, it's an API and a key that you would need in order to link so that those invoice and billing can run for you. But we don't recommend Stripe because we don't want them to hold your money. Okay, we don't want y'all to hold money. All right, thank you, Jan. See, my team, the ball. I love them. Okay, so now we're gonna go over to clients and we're gonna start. Did I answer your question, Ms. McCoy? I want to make sure that you had another question. Did you see it on the tab? You good? You good?
Yeah, that was yeah. Well, where do we find the recordings? That was my next question, but I was gonna wait till later to ask.
The recordings are gonna be in the community. I'll show you guys once we're done with this and we head over to the community together, so you'll be able to see it. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Big, great question. See, I like this. I like it. Okay, so I am going to add myself as a client and I'm going to walk you through the onboarding process together. So one thing that I like to stress when we are going through this process is if your client has a junior, a senior, a third, a 15th, and they want you to make sure that you're looking at their profile because let's say their brother's information jumped in or whatever the case may be, like they're like, okay, my brother's the third and I'm the fifth and I'm getting all of his bankruptcy and that's not fair, right? You can go ahead and plug that information. What you want to make sure that you're doing is that the first name is going in the first name box. If you're putting a middle name, that's fine. If you're only doing an initial, that's fine. But you want to make sure that everything is going into the box that is specified, okay? So you put the names, you will actually come down here and put the address on here. And as it stated earlier, you cannot use the same email address as your sign-in. So I'm creating a different one, and then I'm going to put my phone number. Now, the only thing that's required is the last four of the social. Everything that you're plugging in on here is actually going to appear on the letter for your client. So you want to make sure that you're taking your time to put the information in as it's requested so that once it pulls it over and the letters are generated for you, it is a seamless process with no issues and no errors, right? So I love living at 1414 Mockingbird Lane. Okay. That's where I'm living because I like it. And I'm going to say St. Colleen, Texas. and the zip code 76549, and my date of birth. So you're going to put the date of birth. So if you had the pro version and you were loading this client up and you wanted them to be able to get emails, upload things, sign contracts, you would simply click this invite client to save client access, and email will be generated to them that they will be able to come over here and actually upload their identification, sign the contract, pay the invoice, okay, and all of the things. If you do not have the pro, you do not worry about this. You would just click save and everything will populate over here for you where you can now start loading the client in. What I like to talk about before we get started is documentation. So the last class, hang on one second, guys. I'm gonna stop sharing really quickly. And I'm going to switch screens. So hang on one second. So documentation came up a lot in our last meeting. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure that we're covering what those documents look like when you're having a client. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. Can you see my screen okay? Yeah? Yep, okay. So on the screen right now, these are the forms of identification that you want to go ahead and make sure you're collecting from your client when you are trying to send out the documentation. So these letters are going out and you want to validate that your client is who they say they are, or you want to validate that you are who you say you are. I like to be clear that whatever address you're using, you want it to be consistent across the board. So if your ID says 1414 Mockingbird Lane and that is where you live, then you need to make sure that the bill that you're attaching to it also says 1414 Mockingbird Lane. The point is consistency across the board. If your client for some reason does not have the valid address on the identification, for instance, my husband, we moved here from Florida. He don't listen. He don't listen. I love him. He don't listen. He won't get his Texas ID. Why? I don't know. I feel like he thinks we're gonna move back to Florida. I'm not. We've been here 4 years, y'all. I'm not moving back to Florida. Okay, I'm not. It was hot, and the price of hair was too high over there. I just can't go back. Okay, and I don't like buying hair from Amazon, so I cannot go back. Okay, y'all. So no, real talk. I had lived in Florida for 13 years and I was like, I do not want to go back. And the worst part is I feel like he's holding on to it because we have land down there. So he knows we're going to have to go back. He won't change his ID. I promise y'all he won't. So if he's my client, I would tell him, I don't want your little funky ID, okay? What I want is your social security card. I want your paycheck stub. I want your W-2. I want your 1099. Heck, if you just change your name because you didn't want to be Mikkel David, you wanted to be Mikkel May because he took my last name, okay? He didn't. That's just in my head. You have the ability to go ahead and leverage those documents. Marriage certificate, birth certificate, passports, divorce decree, military IDs. All of those are valid first party or first primary identifications that you can utilize. And then you would send a supporting document, okay? One thing I want to highlight is if you're leveraging a utility bill, cable, internet, cell phone bill, anything, gas, water, insurance, right? Every 90 days, you have to get a new identification from that person, that new bill from that person. So you want to make sure that you're collecting exactly what you need when you need it from your client, right? So these are the options. So if you can see, you see how W-2 is on the proof of address and it's on the proof of ID. So that means if you have one in this bucket, you would choose a different one on this side. Am I making sense? Make sense? I'm coming in hot. Let me know. No. All right. So you would leverage this information, and then of course you can get the social security card as well from your clients to upload. So if you have questions about the documentation, I actually took this from a screenshot in the actual training loop. so that you would have accessibility to see it. So if you guys ever have any questions while it's up on the screen, go ahead and take a quick screenshot, take a picture of it, because this is what you would need in order to support your client. So if they say something to you like, oh, well, my driver's license is still in Michigan and it's a Michigan address, you could be like, all right, player, do you have a passport? Okay, you don't. What's your paycheck? What's your pay stub looks like? Because your pay stub is more than likely going to the address that they're living at now, right? So you have other tools and resources for them to verify who they say that they are to you. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Let's pull that back up. All right, so stop sharing. All right, so while I get my computers up, does anyone have any questions about what I've already shared? Any comments or concerns? All right, here we go. So I'm gonna minimize this tab and we're gonna go back to sharing. All right. So we're here and we have our client up, right? So what we need to do at this point is to start loading their information into the software. One of the things that I love is that you are able to crop and save, because I promise you, you will ask someone for their identification and they're going to put it on this big old piece of paper, and you just need this little card and not the big old piece of paper. So what you're able to do is you're able to either click on file, or you can drag and drop and you can put in your client's identification. If they have a big sheet of paper, you're able to minimize, crop, and save. If you made a mistake, okay, you're able to literally click the X and just do it again. So there's no fret, there's no fear. You're able to navigate seamlessly throughout the process. So for instance, this client gave me this full bill. I don't need all this information, okay? I just need this piece of information here that validates the date of the bill, the person's address, and heck, if I want to, I can literally crop all that out, because they don't need to know what they're paying for the bills. They don't need to know. That's not their business. None of their business. So you're able to go here, crop it, keep the date so that the date is valid, because remember, it's every 90 days you need an updated bill. You crop, you save, you go. This makes sure that while you're processing for your clients, you're not being wasteful. Let's remember that normally in corporate America, the overhead was large because we worked for a large company. You guys are now the large company. So you want to make sure that your resources are resourcing, and therefore you're not wasting paper, you're not wasting ink, you're utilizing every space possible, because if it's too much, then you're going to be printing all of these documents. And I'm just going to tell y'all see them 2 printers back there? They for real, okay? And I use them every day. And I still got to buy ink right now. And that Brother ink right there, this one right here, wait, this one right here is $85 for the toner. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's disrespectful, okay? But I gotta do what I gotta do. All right, that's in my cost. That's why I cost why I charge. Okay. And then you're gonna get the Social Security card, and you're gonna crop, and you're gonna plug it into the software. So now, once you see, if you look, it says you're only required for these 2 pieces. These 2 pieces are the only required: your proof of identity and your proof of address. Anything else is optional. Okay, but you will not be able to maneuver to the attacks or anything of that nature until these two spaces are completely clear, right? So when we're going through the process and you're wanting to import your client's credit report, we are going to go over importing the credit report for Credit Dyno. Credit Dyno offers the one-click import. Okay, so you would actually select Credit Dyno, and let me explain what that means, because someone asked that in another class and I want to make sure I'm covering it. So most softwares that you go into, you have to log into the software and then hit refresh credit report for you to get a new credit report every single month, right? With Credit Dyno, once you have the username and password here, you do not have to do anything. You literally come in after 35 days, you click one-click import, and it automatically loads your client's information and pulls the new credit report, and you will see the date change. And you'll see it in a second. One thing I want you to pay attention to is over here. You see how my balance is 0 because I didn't add any money. Okay, I wasn't balling out of control today. But I have no pending credits. I have nothing in my balance, but it says free attack credit is 0. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to go ahead and put in my login information for my dummy client. Hang on one second. And then we are going to see what it changes to. So while I'm doing that, any questions, you guys can come off mute and ask any questions while we're pulling up. Ms. K, do you have any questions for this part? Ms. Holmes, do you have any questions for this part while we're here?
So far, no. I'm not sure. I'm still watching. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to support. Hang on one second.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and load the client. But yeah, a lot of other softwares, you're gonna have to go to them first in order to get the actual credit report for the client. So with this software, you don't. You just come in every 35 days, you click the one-click import, and Bob's your uncle, it pulls it in and gives you what you need to be great. Okay? And I'm all about being great. So hang on one second.
Okay, so I do have this one question.
Yeah, I'm here.
So you don't have to freeze anything to start working on the client's credit, right?
No, so I'm going to tell you that I used to freeze. That was a method that I did in the past. This year I went to a couple of credit conventions, and everybody was like, oh, you don't have to do what you don't have to do. So since April, I have not been freezing my clients' accounts, and I have not seen an issue. Like, there hasn't been a difference with freezing or unfreezing. The process has literally been the same for me either way.
Okay, because I'm a realtor, and I have turned down so many people because their credit was messed up. So I decided to try to step into credit repair. So that's why I'm here.
Come on, somebody, I like that. Okay, I love that. I think that helping is definitely a good thing, and being able to navigate the waters for your client effortlessly is a great thing. Can y'all see my screen? I feel like it stopped. Hold on one second. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Okay, can y'all see my credit? Y'all can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, love it. Okay, so I like to give y'all things to look at. So hang on one second. Let me drop this. So after I entered the client's information, this is what pulled up on the screen for me. So can y'all see that where it says thank you for using Credit Dyno? You've earned a free attack. Can y'all see that? Okay, so if you look over here, it shows you that you have one free attack. So any client that uses Credit Dyno, once you import the information, the system will tell you the date that it was imported, and then you are able to see the client's scores. across the board. Okay. So that's how you know you did it correctly. If you're not able to see this, and if you're not able to do disputing, then the credit report did not come into the system the way that it needed to. And you need to check that the login information is accurate for you to move forward. But you are able to now get a free round of attack for your client, right? Now, once you get here into the software, you're able to switch over to disputing, and disputing is where you see all the business, okay? Everything is laid out for you, easy peasy, and you can have a wonderful conversation. So we're going to go through what that conversation looks like together. Before I do, I saw that Miss Erica had her hand up. Miss Erica, did you have a question? I think her name, or is it Aaron?
Yes, I did. I had a question. I've already gotten it started with like working on, like, different ones that comes to me, credit or whatever. So far I did start one person, supposed to be having another one added on board, but I was going to see, how do you dispute the addresses? Like, the personal info.
Great question. I'm going to show you that in just a second. We're about to get to the letters and the meat and potatoes. So just hang tight. You're going to see it in just a few seconds. So,
okay, thank you.
No worries, my love. All right. So now we're going to go into what this report is telling us. So we've now brought in the client's report. We're able to see their inquiries. So this is all the inquiries, but you can see exactly what's on Equifax, what's with Experian, and what's with TransUnion. As y'all know, what is on one credit report, one credit bureau, is not with all of them, okay? Not all the vendors are willing to pay to play in these streets to put their information in. They will leverage only, like, if you'll see, like, sometimes, I think Amex is very good for Experian or Equifax, right? They'll sometimes pull from TransUnion. So when you get a client and you see that the inquiries are not the same across the board, do not be alarmed. That vendor just probably did not pay to pull from all three, right? The personal information, this is bankruptcies, liens, child support judgments. You will see that information here. And as always, it's broken up to all, and you can see the specific credit bureaus that is housing the information. So for this client, it only has, the bankruptcy is only showing with Equifax, right? So as you scroll down, this is the body of the report. So someone else in the last class was like, hey, I want to dispute the inquiries. And I was like, that's cool, but we're going to talk best practices. When you are disputing an inquiry for your client, one of the things that you want to make sure that you are being very litigious, very aware about, is that you are looking to see if that inquiry is attached to an open and active account. If it is, you do not want to dispute it, because you run the risk of closing that open and active account. So we're not going to do that. So you can do like I do. I'm old school. I like to scroll. Okay. I like to scroll these screens. Okay. I just learned how to say that. Scroll these screens. If you are a person that likes to click the find, you are able to do the find, and you can say, okay, this person has inquiries from One Main. I'm going to go ahead and type One Main and see if they have One Main in their actual credit report. If they do not have One Main in the credit report and you want to dispute it, you can select One Main, One Main, One Main. And then once that letter is generated, it will generate with the inquiries being disputed as well. To your point, Miss Erica, if you have personal inquiry letters are included in every single round specifically. So no matter which round of attack you're doing, the personal information is there, but I will show you a dedicated personal information letter that you can use, and you can actually send to the individual third-party companies as well. So like LexisNexis, Clarity, Factor Trust, and so on, right? So if you wanted to dispute this inquiry, you can select it. I promise you, the system is looking for what needs to be disputed for your client. So any urgent accounts is going to already be selected, and the bureaus that is associated with that selected profile, right? So when you are looking at this report, one of the benefits to the credit dyno is that you have the ability to go ahead and talk about the health and the payment history for your particular client. So you have a summary. The summary is going to be specific to the information available for that particular credit bureau. So as you can see, the Discover is only showing up on TransUnion and Experian. It's not showing up on Equifax at all. So you can have that educated conversation with your client that says, hey, it shows it's open and active. I see that your Discover account is showing up for the TransUnion and the Experian. It is not being reported to Equifax. You can then move over to payment history and have a conversation about how they pay. When were they late, right? Because as you can see, they have a code over here that tells you, have they been 90 days late, 60 days late, 30 days late, when? And you're able to see it for up to 7 years, right? So this particular account wasn't open that long. So it's been open since 2021. So her payment history is at 80%. So we know that payment history is 35% of the score, which works out to be like 192 points. So we're having this conversation with our client like, yo, the first thing you could do is make sure we are paying on time. Okay, that is number one. And if you're in the military, and my dad was in the military, okay, so my dad is, if you're on time, you late. So you got to be early. With credit cards, you know, you can have the conversation of paying on the statement date. That will help your utilization. That will make sure that you're paying on time. Pay 2-3 days before the due date if you can't pay on the statement date, right? Having this conversation with them and showing them what is the health of your account and what each account is doing for them to benefit or harm them is a great separation from you compared to everyone else that's in the industry. What are you sowing into, right? And then being able to dive in and have the conversation of, hey girl, hey, love you lots, but your credit limit is only $11,600. You're over the limit. Okay, so honey, this is what I'm going to need you to do. I need you to take your minimum payment times 2 plus $4, and I need you to go ahead and pay this right here, right now, because we need this lowered, right? And now you're creating breathing room for yourself to make sure that when the interest hits the account again, you're not over the limit again, right? It's all about education. What are you giving them? This is value that you're pouring in, and you're able to see this with the credit dyno credit monitoring. So that's why I like to go in and give y'all the sauce and the tea. All right. So let's say you are now, you've read the FCRA, you've read all the books, you're aware of these codes that can help you with disputing because you know these codes are not in this particular round. Or you're like, okay, I went across code UC15 and I want to add that this information is incorrect. You can literally click on this tab right here. I want to make sure that you guys can see it. It says add a custom message. And you'll be able to add whatever code or whatever message you want, and it will be generated with the letter that you are picking for that particular round. If you guys do not want to add anything, honey, because y'all are like, I'm just trying to learn how to figure out how to do this, and I want to do credit repair on autopilot, you do not have to worry about this. But I want to let you know the perks that are within the actual software. Okay. So now the system has already picked profiles. So it says this is a charge off, it's closed, it's not open, it's negative, it's affecting my client, we're going to dispute it. This is a charge off, it's affecting the client, we're going to dispute it. So the artificial intelligence that's within Dispute Panda that is in alliance with Credit Dyno, which is what I love. Credit Dyno gives you the ability that when you're running the rounds, it tracks the success. And even though everyone might be doing pinwheel attack or everyone might be doing nerve, and I'm going to show you what those attacks look like, no one's letter is the same because it's subject to the information that is on each person's credit profile, okay, or credit report. So once you're able to do that, if you choose to uncheck it, let's say your client says, listen, I don't want to dispute I don't want to dispute Discover. I don't want any letters sent to Discover. You can literally just uncheck it and it will not be included in the round. I've had that happen to me before where a client is like arguing with a creditor and they're in the middle of like litigation or something, and they'll tell me, I don't want to include this in there, and I just uncheck it because I want to make sure I'm doing good business for my clients, right? If they don't have any discussion and they're a novice and you're just using it, the artificial intelligence already knows what can be disputed and what cannot. And that way you can move forward and keep going. Okay. Any questions on this screen? Oh, make sure that when you're done with that, you want to hit save so that you're able to then go to the attack screen. So any questions? I saw that you had your hands up, Mr. McCoy. How can I help? What questions do you have?
Okay, I was wondering where you got that pay the minimum payment times 2 plus $4. What did you get? Is that just something you just
That's something that I found.
made up, or where did you get that from?
Yeah, so here's what happens. When you're over the limit, it's affecting you because number one, you're over the limit, right? But also, let's say the person pays the minimum balance that's due. They're only paying whatever they're asking for that minimum. It does not always keep your client out from being negative the next time when that interest drops again because they're just making the minimum payments. So what I found is when a person is over the limit, if they do not pay the over the limit in totality, then the key way that they can help stop them from going over again the following month is the minimum payment times 2 plus $4. Every time I've done that with a client, it has helped them to get back on track when it was time for them to make the payment the following month, and their interest rate hasn't been as high. So that's just been a practice that I've given my clients to help them get out of the over the limit placement, is that minimum payment times 2 plus $4. So take it on, put it in your little pocket. Okay, go ahead and share it with the world. Share it with the world. Spread the joy. So I remember I told you guys to download the actual attacks. And for everyone who is on here, I like to tell y'all the facts. The facts are that all of these letters have been tested. All of these letters have been maneuvered as to what works, what sequence, when should you send them certified, when do you not necessarily need to send them certified, so that you're able to navigate the waters properly. So if you're looking to do credit repair on autopilot, you can literally come here and you are able to go ahead. Sorry, you notice things times out, y'all. You're able to go ahead and select an attack. So there are 4 different attacks that you have. You have the black attack, the white attack, the blue attack, and the red attack. The difference between them, the red attack is effective, the blue attack is efficiency. The way that I look at it when I'm talking to my clients, okay, we're going to cover that in a second, Dennis. So when I'm looking at it for my client, if my client is coming with me and they are going to be with me, I've looked at their profile, I know that they need encouragement, training, discussions on how to manage their full debt to income ratio, and they have time. It's not on a crunch. I am more efficiency driven than I am effectiveness, because I have the time to make sure that I am going through each process layer by layer. Now, when we get into the letters, I'm going to show you the different wording between the efficiency and the effectiveness. It's really just how aggressively the letters are going out for the client and how many things are being attacked through the process. So on this form, you are able to get a full 12 rounds of dispute. So that means your client can be with you for 12 months and you actually know what letter to select. Okay, does it need to go out certified? And what day do you send it out? So you do not even have to wait, y'all. Like for you to be like, oh, should I send the letters today? You know that if you're choosing the efficiency, you're sending the Nerve Super Boost. It is a color letter. It is single-sided, and it is going out on day 1. That means when you're coming back here, it's going to be 35 days later. So you're coming in on day 36 and you're pulling that credit report and you're sending out the NERV premium. You do not have to question the flow. You do not have to worry about the flow. You're in there like swimwear. Okay. So you are able to go through actually helping your clients for 12 months to hit their goal. And if your client is like, wait a minute, I don't know, I might need more time, or, and this is another thing that I like to tell my clients as well. So you guys can write this down. I let my clients know I create videos. So my first video is a welcome video, like, hey girl, hey, welcome to the team. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. This is how you can reach me. This is when I check my emails. I'm very specific that, hey, I check my emails at 8 o'clock. I check my email again at 12. I check my email again at 5. If you need something from me and it's not within that space and you sent an email after, please know it's going to get answered the next day, right? But my videos that I go ahead and send them also educate them that, hey, if you decide to pause the program because life is lifing, you need to give me 60 days to get you back in the flow that you were in before. Right? So that way I'm not setting you up for failure. I'm encouraging you that if life happens and you need to step away, that when you come back to this project, this is what you need to expect for my company to run effectively and efficiently for you. Right? So we're able to have that dialogue. So that is something that you guys can also think about when you're going through, depending on if you're a text or if you're going to be emailing, kind of like educating them through the process. But the letters that you have, the letters are basically broken down and they tell you what to be in each letter. So it's basically letting you know, hey, this is a nerve attack, right? Excuse me, it's going to include, if you're doing the super boost is going to include all of the regular information from the nerve attack, but it's also going to include additional AI attack verbiage, right? If you are going for the pinwheel is saying it's similar to the nerve attack. However, it's limited to only 7 negative items, 7 negative and 10 inquiries. So if you have a client, and I've seen this, y'all, I like to tell y'all the truth. I have seen it where a client has come in and they have had over 100 inquiries. You are knowing that if you're doing pinwheel, it's going to do 7. Okay. It's going to do 10 inquiries. That's it. So you're going to have to wait till the next time for me to harass the other ones if I'm able to dispute it for whatever reason, right? Because remember, the goal is you can only do the inquiry if it's not attached to an actual open and active account, right? So the pinwheel breaks down that is similar to the nerve attack. The difference is it gives you 7 and 10. If you're doing the super boost, again, it's giving you additional AI verbiage. Okay. If you want to do the fist of fury, and again, you're not picking the letter, the software already gave you the blueprint. So the only thing you have to figure out is, am I doing effective, efficient, or am I going to go with the standard workflows, which are black and white? So while we're going through that, I want you guys to type in what workflow you want me to do: black, white, blue, red, what you want to do. Okay. Now, to the point of the question that was asked before we generate letters, while y'all are typing in the chat, if you are having a personal information letter, one of the amazing things about Credit Dyno is Credit Dyno gives you static letters for free. So as long as you have a balance here, you have the ability to send a static letter. A static letter can be a cease and desist letter, a debt validation letter, a goodwill letter, a pay for delete letter to that actual collector, right? A bankruptcy court document, a cease and desist. But one of the things that I love is if you have a personal information, and that's just what you want to send out is personal information, you can come to this static and you can send out the personal information letter. Now, I told everyone when I did my process is I send out personal information day 1. I normally double back day 10 or 7. Normally it's day 7. I double back, I send another personal information letter, and then I don't do it again for another month or so. I normally send a personal information letter every single month. If you are wanting to send a personal information letter to the third-party creditors such as LexisNexis and Novus, you literally just have to scroll down and you can click all the boxes that apply to your particular client. And that way you can get that letter sent out to them directly. To answer Dennis's question earlier, if you have already done a round of attack and you got a stall card, because TransUnion is so good at them stall cards, honey, they rude, disrespectful. You would come here, click on the stall letter, and then the round of a letter, the day that you actually generated the letter, you would put it in here. And then if you have the pro, you have the ability to upload the actual document so that when you print out the stall letters, it prints out that round of attack that was not worked. Okay. So you have the ability to do that. So I was looking in the chat and it seems like Blue is winning over here. Okay. My husband would love that because he swear he gangsta, y'all. He swear he over there, West Coast or whatever. I don't know, chat. But you guys said blue attack. So the blue attack, the very first round is nerve attack, super boost. It is a single coded letter. Okay. And the frequency is on day 1, we're not coming back until day 5. Remember, the first round letter is saying it's certified. If you guys are paying attention, the first round is always sent certified for every single one. Okay, so you're prepared, you know what's going on, and you're like, okay, so it's the nerve attack. See, I don't talk so much, I forgot. Nerve attack, super boosted. So we're gonna go back over here and we're gonna click nerve attack. And we're going to click super boosted. Now, one thing I'd like to let y'all know, if you guys are using Credit Dino and you have a pro account, you are able to generate not only disputes to the credit bureau, but to the creditors as well. So you could be like, get into it, honey. Okay, I don't need y'all playing with me. Just go ahead and get all these things removed. Okay. If you want to add a little flavor, a little sauce, you can choose. And this is something that I do, is like every couple of rounds, I'll switch it up where it looks like a standard letter. And then other times it looks like it's handwritten. That way it kind of keeps them guessing on what's going on. And like, okay, is this a business? Is this a person? Mind your business. Ain't none of your business who's doing this. Just use these codes and do what you got to do. But if you have Credit Dino, you have the ability to create this, to create letters to creditors. And I'll actually show you guys in a minute what it looks like on the other end. Or you can click handwrite. So you're going to hit start round. And they always want you to confirm that you know that you're going to go ahead and process this for your client. Remember, this was free 99 because I use Credit Dino. So now the letters are being generated for me and we are good to go. Okay. So hang on 1 second for me. Let me let this person in. My camera's not cameraing, y'all. Okay. So you can click download, or baby, you can click mail them out. So if you are not a control freak like me, don't judge my life, y'all. I'm the oldest of a bunch of people, okay? Because my mama had kids, my daddy had kids. I'm the oldest of a bunch of people. I like to be in control. I like to know where things are going. So I personally like to take my letters to the post office. Plus, if y'all have been here, y'all know I got a 6-year-old gangster, okay, who's my bodyguard and comes with me to the post office so he can get lollipops, all right? So that's our thing. That's what we do. We go to the post office together. So I personally take it there. But if you guys do not want to, you have the ability to come here and actually change it and have the system mail your letters out for you. As you can see, it changed what the prices are. So first class mail, which is just standard mail, you're just putting a stamp on it and you're mailing it, was only $12.91. For certified mail, it goes up to $31.48 based on how many pages and how many letters are going out, right? So you're able to navigate these waters and you can put the money that's needed on there to go out to your client. And as you can see, it's telling you how many letters are being generated for your client. You're good to go. Okay, so you can hit pay by mail, pay and mail, and the system will automatically send that letter out for you. Now, there are some stipulations that I want you guys to be aware of, and we're going to cover that in a moment. But right here, once it's all done, you can click download and you're able to print it out yourself and stuff it in an envelope like I'm about to do when I get off this phone with y'all. Okay, and you can take it to the post office yourself and you're good to go. Once you hit mail it out, if you have the funds in here, it will be deducted from your balance. You're good to go. If you want to mail it out, but you don't have the money in there, you can pause right here, click on balance, and then come back to your attack and then go ahead and click the mail out button. You're not locked in, like you don't lose everything. It does store into the system. And then of course, when you go to history, you're able to see the letters you generated for your clients. You're able to see the credit report, and you're able to see the scores every time you pull that client in, okay? And then of course, if you had invoices, you'll be able to see that, and you're able to leave a note. So like the note is also a pro feature. I love that feature because I like to do extra stuff a lot of times, and especially if I have a conversation with my clients, I can notate in there like what we talked about, what she said she wasn't gonna do anymore, but she did anyway. Yeah, I keep track of all that. So you're able to go through that software. So you have now, if you guys have been doing it with me, you have now worked, uploaded, and did a complete file for your client. What questions do y'all have so far?
Do this
Can you hear
kind of
me?
credit?
Good. Yes, I can hear you. Let me start with Ms. K first, and then the other gentleman. What was your question?
You said me first?
Yes, go ahead, Ms. K.
Oh.
What's your...
So let me ask you this: when you doing this, do it sits on the credit as a dispute?
It is going to say that you are disputing. That is correct.
All right. So like when they come to buy a house, how long would it sit on the credit as a dispute before it's gone?
So that would depend. So normally when you're going through the dispute process, you're going through at minimum, you're going through a 6-month sequence. So if you get to a point where your client has maneuvered to the space where they're no longer in that dispute, or like you've gotten them where they need to be to close on a home, like a 620 or a 640 or whatever, you can then have them call, or you can send a letter saying that you want to get those removed. But normally that sits on there while you're going through the dispute process. So if you're going through 6 months, for those 6 months, 7 months, sort of, kind of, you're having that dispute listed there while you're actually in the dispute process.
Okay, but once they reach their goal, we can always call and say you want the dispute to be removed. And how long did it normally take?
I'm sorry, repeat that for me. How long does it take?
For them to remove the dispute?
Normally it's like a 24 to 48 hour situation. But normally what I would say is that if you hit your goal number, then you're not sending out another round. So the dispute won't be there. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you did a round for this month, it's been disputed, it's been reviewed, you've then gotten your results. If you don't send another round out, the dispute's not going to be there. So you have to educate the client that, hey, you need to wait until this round is completed, the dispute process is done, so that you can get an answer, and then we can pull your updated number or rescore you accordingly.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, y'all can find me everywhere. I'm on social medias. I'm out here in these streets. Holla at me. Keith, are you next? What questions do you have for me?
I thought there was somebody else, but I can go next.
Oh, I'm not quite sure. Who was after Miss K?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay, you're gonna be next. I'm sorry about that, Keith. Okay, how can I help you? iPhone 7.
It's Glenn. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's
Hey,
showing up
Glenn.
iPhone 7.
No
How you
worries.
doing, honey?
Blessed and
Okay.
highly favored. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'd be even better if I could figure out this software.
That's what I'm here for. Let's go. What's going on?
Okay, check it out. So the part where you I don't know if you're importing credit dyno or what, but first of all, it's saying my credentials are wrong.
Okay.
I had my driver's license and I had proof of address. As far as the username, that's my email, right? That I log in with.
So when you say your credentials are wrong, what do you mean? Are you talking about to get into Credit Dyno itself? I mean, Dispute Panda itself, or where are you at?
No, I'm in the documents tab.
Okay, you're in the documents tab. Let's go. Okay.
You know where you have your license and everything, license, proof of
Right.
address.
Right.
Okay, I just deleted them because I was like, all right, maybe I need to delete them. But I had my driver's license and my proof of address there.
Right.
Okay, now I go down to the credit monitoring
Credit
name,
Mm-hmm.
choose Credit Dino,
Okay.
and then my username is what?
Whatever you created. So did you go to Credit Dino and you had an account for Credit Dino set up?
No, I don't
So
have
you
an account
have
for.
So you have to go to Credit Dino and you have to sign up for Credit Dino.
Okay,
So
and
then you would put whatever username. So when you then hit sign up, whatever username and information that you have here, when you create this login, you're then able to put into that credential. So it's not your Dispute Panda login. You literally have to go to Credit Dino and sign up under their platform.
And do I use a different email?
You can use the same exact email, honey. That don't matter. Yeah.
Okay.
The only time the emails matter is when you're loading yourself as a client and you are the person owning the software. So if I was doing this as an individual, I would have to use mayraquel@gmail.com for my Dispute Panda software. And then I would have to use raquelmay@gmail.com for my letters, because you can't have the same in the software. Credit Dino is a separate software altogether, so you can use whatever email you want.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
Mm-hmm.
When I log into Dispute Panda,
Mm-hmm.
it's whatever I put.
Correct.
Then when I because this is for me, I'm not doing this for nobody. It's just for me.
I got you, boo. Yeah, we're on the same page. It's for you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I go over to creditdino.com or whatever it is, and then I sign up for that.
Yes.
I can use the same credentials or no?
You can use the same information. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Then I just need to sign up for Credit Dino. Maybe that's why. But I don't know why it's saying my credentials. Well, I guess
because your credentials are not correct. So because you never signed up for Credit Dino, your credentials cannot be right, because it has to pull your information from Credit Dino. If you don't have a username and password with Credit Dino, it's not pulling anything, and that's why it's telling you your credentials are wrong. It has nothing to do with your ID. As long as these spaces are grayed out, and let me be clear, even if you put wrong information in here, that has nothing to do with this credential situation. That is specifically with whatever credit monitoring software you're using. So if it was Smart Credit, if it was Identity IQ, if it was Bob's, your uncle's monitoring, it is whatever their information is for you to log into that site. So if you're going to use Credit Dino, then you have to go to Credit Dino first and sign up, and then put the information into the system here.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then you just click one-click import and you're good to go.
Okay. And when you say when I do my attacks with Credit Dino, it's $3.99. Is that $3.99?
I said it's free 99, honey. It's free.
Free 99. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
That's my word. Free 99.
Okay.
My 6-year-old taught me.
Okay. And one more question before I let you go. Is there any way that we can contact you outside of Zooms or anything?
Absolutely. I will drop my calendar. I will drop my calendar for you guys. But yes, you can. As a matter of fact, I'll put my email in here so you guys can reach out to me. Just let me know you're in this class, because I just realized I don't have my calendar fully uploaded. Don't judge my life, y'all. Evolve. So yes, if you guys do have questions and you need me outside of this room, you guys can shoot me an email. It is my pleasure to go ahead and support. Just let me know in the subject line, just type in Dispute Panda class, and that way I can send you my link. But my link will be up and ready for next week because we just revamped the website. So thank you for that. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can drop it in there, and you guys can always send me a message. It'd be my pleasure to support. If it's not a Monday or Wednesday to help. Any other questions from me? iPhone 7.
Yes, ma'am. One more question.
All right, I might have an answer for you.
Am I allowed to ask your price what you charge? Because
what
if I don't
charge
feel
for credit repair?
Yes.
Okay, so I have an enrollment fee, which is called a first work fee. It is $199. If it's just one person, I do have a different rate for couples. And then I have two plans that are normally there. So you either get my elite plan or you get my executive plan. My elite plan is $179. My executive plan is $199. That's my price.
Okay, so $400.
No, so it's $199 to enroll and $179 per month.
Oh, per month. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unless I run a special, and every now and then I be trying to be special. Okay, I be trying to be special for y'all.
I feel you. Thank you, honey.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. So, any other questions? iPhone 7. You say Glenn. Your name's Glenn, right?
Yes. I'm done.
Right.
I'm done with you. I'm done right
All
now.
right. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Do I take bi-weekly payments? So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very realistic with my clients. If those packages do not work, I personally have an option where my clients can do a DIY where they I print the letters, I generate it. We still have a coaching call. It's just mostly like in a group session, and then I let them mail off their own letters. So I am very I do have a flexible option where that's done with you service instead of done for you service, because I do know that not everyone has the ability to pay that price point, but everyone needs good credit, honey, and I want you to be a beast in these credit streets. Yep, I talk about trade lines as well. I'm an MLO. Would you have room for a few clients? Child, you hit me up, girl. I have room for clients all day. Look, all day. I told my husband today I'm ready to quit this job. I'm like, y'all are playing around with me. I'm finna go back into coaching and leave this alone. But no, great questions, guys. I really, really appreciate you. Definitely check out everything that is there. Keith, you were next, and then Mr. McCoy. I like Mr. McCoy. Mr. McCoy be coming every week with questions. You my friend. Okay, sorry. What's your question, Keith? Go ahead and come off of mute.
Yeah, basically, I just had a quick question. I got a little angsty and went ahead and sent out letters for my first round.
Uh-huh.
And as I'm reading this, I didn't go through the PDF. Did a nerve attack, Supreme boosted, I believe, but I sent them out first class. Am I gonna have to send them out again?
No, you do not send it out again.
No. I'm talking about the next 35 days later. What's going to be my next course of attack?
So the first attack you send out, what attack was it? You said it was the nerve super boost?
Yeah, it was a nerve attack Supreme boost, I believe.
Okay. So you just come, since that letter was the first letter, then how you would maneuver in that space is you would come to the blue attack and you would choose the next round of letters from the blue. Because you've already started down the chain of the blue attack. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand. All right, thank you.
So that way you don't feel overwhelmed or don't feel oppressed. Because I had someone else said that they sent out a letter and they sent it out first class and not certified. Child, don't worry about it. Just go ahead. As long as you get a response, you're good to go. You are good to go. So yeah, if in that case, since you did the nerve super boost, now you know that this is here. You would go download this document. If you weren't able to download it today, make sure when you get on your computer, you download it. And then you just go to Nerve Premium and you follow the flow. I promise you, if you work the plan is going to work for you.
Okay. I'll do that.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you for showing your little face, y'all. Y'all look so nice tonight. Y'all look like y'all brushed your teeth. Y'all took a shower. Ew. Sorry. Okay. What questions do you have for me, Mr. McCoy?
So I got two questions. The first question is, I know the credit bureaus, they respond at different rates because they're three different companies. So if we put out our first round of attacks, and let's say we get a response sooner than 30 days, do we start the second round after we get our response, or do we wait 30 days, or wait until all the bureaus?
I normally wait because I'm here for impact and muscle. You get what I'm saying? Yes, some of them work a lot faster, but according to the guidelines, you're not being problematic if you wait that 35 days, even though they've responded to you on day 14, right? It's not, you're not creating and you're not violating any policies if you decide to do everything at the same time. Because what you don't want to do, and just speaking realistically, what you don't want to do is go in. Number one, Credit Dyno is only going to pull the updated report every 35 days. Even the credit monitoring software. So if you're then going off of the responses that happened on day 14, but TransUnion or Experian doesn't answer you until day 30, you're not getting that updating information that you need in order to make sure that you're disputing the right thing, which what you're ending up doing is you're doing blind disputing for the other creditors, or you're creating a pattern where you're now going to pull and you're going to do a set of letters, but how when you don't have that updated account information in the software itself? Because the responses haven't been generated into the software. Does that make sense? Because you're pulling every 30. So my best practices is to wait that 35 days and follow the sequence of days that you're going to send out your letters, right? It'd be better to just do that flow. But great question.
Okay.
Here's the other question.
Okay, and my second question is, do you have any credit builders that you would recommend to someone who is getting their credit repaired and now they don't have any credit?
Yes, so I have a bunch of them, y'all. Get ready. Get into it. Y'all ready? I'm going to give y'all the 2 basic ones that I normally give to my clients that are very, very helpful. And then, James, I'm going to answer your question, but I have a question before I answer your question to make sure I got it right, because I like to make sure we're all on the same page. So credit builder number 1 that I like to give my clients is these are 2 what they call it, fintech companies, right? One of them are specific to the Apple phone only. The other one is specific to anyone. So the company that I give my clients for credit builder when they first come in, especially if they have no credit cards, no credit lines or anything, is Grain, Grain. That is a platform that I recommend. Their customer service, I like to be completely straightforward. Their customer service is not great. It's not amazing. It's not magnificent. It's just good. You know what I mean? However, if your client has no credit line, they're not running a credit check, they're verifying their name, their address, and like their banking information, like that they actually have a bank account that's set up and things of that nature, because Grain is a credit line. So you're going to be educating your client the difference between a credit card and a credit line. The credit card you can take, swipe. The credit line, you are able to transfer the money from that account into your bank account. They normally deposit within 1 to 3 days, depending on what bank account you're with. So Grain is one that I use for my iPhone users that have no kind of credit setup. It does an auto withdrawal for the client. I have had 1 or 2 people tell me that that a payment was missed. I simply wrote a letter to Grain and let them know this is unacceptable. I did like an email, and they were able to get that late payment removed from their credit report because it was not on the client, it was on the actual company. I've only had that experience with 2 clients. I've referred 27 people to date to them, and that was the only person that had an issue. So it's Grain, like a grain of rice.
So is Grain like a secured loan?
It's not a secure loan at all. So let me be clear. If your client has bad track record on their bank account, like they have overdraft fees or things of that nature, then it will state to them, we will give you $300, but you have to put $150 in, right? It normally doubles whatever the deposit is that they're asking for. Most of the people that I've had that have little or no credit, they were able to get $500 to $1,000 based on what was in their bank account or what their direct deposits look like. So normally if they're at decent, not the score, but their bank account looks decent, they will be able to get a Grain account without putting anything down. And the lowest I've seen them give is $300. If they have to do a security deposit, I've seen $150 deposit for a $300 line or $250 deposit for a $500 line with Grain. Okay. The next company that I tell everyone about is Cred AI. So when you sign up for these, I think you do have an affiliate. I'm not quite sure if Grain gives you one. I do know that Cred AI does. If you sign up for them specifically, they do not offer affiliates outside of. So like how Credit Dino gives you the affiliate link and you don't have to have Credit Dino, they do not offer that service at all. But the other one is Cred AI. Hold on, let me see. That is the other company. This is the other company that is a credit builder that I tell my clients about. This one is a little bit different when we're talking about, what's the word? When we're talking about credit building. So number one, they have to have their phone with them. They get to verify their information. Their SagStream and LexisNexis has to be clear because that's how they're validating that the person has their identity. The minimum amount of credit that they normally report is $750. The maximum, I believe, is about $2,000. There is nothing that your client has to do. Oh, Shaka Khan. Sorry, guys. There is nothing that your client has to do as it pertains to this software. So this Credit AI, what it does is it generates and it reports every single month that credit limit is available every single month. It also gives them a physical card. So if they're buying stuff online, like I got the Credit AI for my son, so that way he likes to purchase things online. He gets virtual cards, and that way he's able to use that one card. He can load money onto the card, use that one card, and then he's good to go. You don't have to worry or look at anything as far as your clients paying anything every single month. That's complete. Like literally they apply for this and it gets reported to their credit bureau every single month. They don't have to do anything. So if they get the card and never use the card, it doesn't matter because the card is only able to work when they load money on it. Otherwise it doesn't. Okay. The third one, and look at JMac in my business, is Kickoff. I personally like Kickoff. They have kind of evolved as time has gone on. Originally, it was like you had to pay $2 every single month. Now they're offering clients up to $2,500 credit limit, and you have to pay like $10 or $20 a month or something for that credit limit to report on the person's credit report every single month. Now, I'm going to say this. If your client is really looking to establish themselves, because the credit bureau knows that these are second chance places. One of the things that I leverage all the time are credit unions. Let your client know, like, hey, when income tax time comes up, if you have a bonus, if you decided to do 3 or 4 people's hair, right, and you got a little lump sum, go to your credit union and open a CD or try to get a credit card through that credit union. A primary account is going to help you out a lot better. Not to say that, let me be clear, I'm not saying that if you're an authorized user on your auntie's card who has never been late, it's not going to be beneficial. It is. If you have a trustworthy family member or you know someone that you can trust that can help you, my love, do what you got to do, okay? But if you are able to set yourself apart and you can tell your clients $1,000, $500, heck, if you can even do $250, Discover is great for you to utilize with them, but not for nothing. These credit union options, Truist, really good at helping you with building credit, and they are a relationship bank. So it does make it a lot more. She said I should update it. You're right. Don't judge my life. The credit unions, I feel, because they're more relationship driven and a lot of them are looking to work in our communities, you definitely want to give them a try. PenFed is really good. First Tech is really good. You know, a lot of people run that play with Navy Federal. Navy Federal will give you an account too. They are also a relationship bank. They will give you a secured card. So not just going to the big banks, but also staying in the federal credit union options, a lot of times if you have deposits going in, that's what you have to tell your clients over and over again. If deposits are going into that account, they're seeing that you're having transactions, start going to that bank, start having conversations. I promise you, when there are opportunities available because they see that your deposits are depositing, they will offer you those services as well. So I don't want you to feel like you're stranded or locked out or not able to dip and do the way that you need to. I will definitely always tell my clients when they're looking to build their credit to start with credit unions as a point of reference to help. I saw that there was another question. James Bell, before I get to you, I think it's LeBaron. Give me 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me 1 second. Let me get to James. James, I saw you had a question in the chat and I lost it, honey. I lost it. Come help me. Because I got a lot of messages. I know you said something about 90 days. Okay. What do I do if I did one attack, got a stall letter and verification letter and did not send another attack 90 days later? So I would say that you have to make a decision as to how you want to move forward. If you got a stall attack, this is just me. If I got a stall attack, and that means that you did not process the original letter that I sent. So I got a stall letter. I'm going to log into the software and I'm going to pick stall, right? And I'm going to go ahead and when I pick that stall, when I go into this software, I'm going to pick a static letter. I'm going to go ahead and pick stall, and I'm going to resend the original letter that I sent out 90 days ago because they did nothing. .com, .org, .net. So in essence, you've been doing nothing for 90 days. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm not moving on to the next set of letters. I'm sending this stall letter and I'm sending that verification. Now, if you feel like, okay, it's been 90 days, I'm not going to send a stall letter, you're starting back at day one because you've had such a long break. So you can choose to ignore the stall and not send a stall letter and go right back to actually attacking from point A because you haven't done anything for 90 days. I hope that makes sense. Are you still here, James? James, don't want to talk to me. It's all right. I brush my teeth for y'all. Okay, y'all. Hold on 1 second. I think, okay, James said yes, thank you. Thank you, James, for answering me in the chat. Okay, so I had LeBaron. What questions do you have for me?
So one of my leads.
Wait a minute, before you go, don't be talking about my Chrome. Okay, that's we not gonna do it as Beyonce internet.
Your Chrome talking about you. It ain't me.
I'm gonna update it. Go ahead. What's your question?
One of my leads was in debt consolidation, which of course I mean, you know, if I'd have got to him quicker, I'd have told him not to do it. But I mean, the fact is they already went through it. So do you recommend that I take them on as a client, or should I wait till they're done? Because they already messed up, but it's like they already paid them. So
they already paid them.
Yeah, but they have an agreement with them, so I don't want to. I mean, I guess it would be kind of. I guess. Well, I know if they stop, of course, I can do their credit. But if they keep going with them, I know I'll just be, you know, like trying to get water out the ocean, like trying to empty the ocean. But
okay, so I'm gonna tell you what Raquel would do. This is what Raquel would do. In that situation, I would educate the client that, hey, if you're going to go down the road of this debt consolidation and this is what you want to do, then when you're done with the process, come with me. Come to me, I'll be happy to support. If you want to sign up, because again, number one, I always tell people to do a consultation. I feel like you're talking about debt consolidation because you're looking at the stuff that you're going through right now, but is there other things that you could clean up that's separate and apart from what's in that debt consolidation? And are they willing to go through that process? Now, you also have to think about the headache, because I like to keep it real. A lot of times clients get mad at you, okay, Like they get real mad at you because they're like, oh, this is not moving. Well, listen
Yeah.
here, Suzanne, you decided not to pay this bill. Okay, Sue, this ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm over here, I'm writing these letters, I'm drinking my water, I'm taking my walks, and you just over here not paying your bills. This ain't got nothing to do with me, okay? So you got to figure out what you personally, I wouldn't touch it because you've already made a decision. And I want you to complete that decision. And then now what I would do, just me, is I would create like a monthly Zoom situation where you can say, okay, you can come in the room, we can have conversations. And this way you're building your community of know, like, and trust on like what should you be doing in the interim. Because let's be clear, all your stuff is not in this debt collection program.
Yeah.
There's other stuff that you could be dipping and doing to be a beast in these credit streets that you're not doing right now. So let me create the avenue so that if you make a decision that, hey, you're going to leave the debt consolidation people, you're going to come here, you already know that I know exactly what I'm talking about. You follow what I'm saying? But you have to make the decision. I don't like headache. Okay, I got 4 kids. Okay, my 19-year-old that act like he grown, but still on my insurance. Okay, I don't need no more headache.
I don't need no headache either. I got a 22-year-old.
Come on, so I don't need no, my gray is graying. I don't need no more headache, y'all. No, okay. So you got to make that decision for you personally. I wouldn't. I would tell them either you're doing debt consolidation or you're working with me. The question would be, what does your pockets look like? Because if you're telling me that debt consolidation is your best option, I'm not going to tell you different.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the person navigating those streets. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I always start off with what are their goals, like when I do a consultation, because if their goals ain't aligned with what they're trying to do, then it's gonna be a uphill battle. So
right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love that. So yeah, just think about it, process what you think is the best move for you and for your brand and your business. But education is key. Like letting them know, I have no problem helping you, but I want to be clear that because you're not paying these bills, and some debt consolidation companies don't pay the bills you know, together.
Yeah.
Some of them will take the money and then they siphon out who they're paying at a lower rate. So like GreenPath is a good company. I've worked with them before when I used to work at Chase, Bank of America. A lot of the secular banks, so to speak, have worked with GreenPath. But there's some of them that completely close the debt or pay off the debt while the client is repaying them back. So again, they would have to read the contract to see how is this debt consolidation going to be beneficial for me. And then once they have that educational tool on either side, you can position like, how do you want to move forward from there?
Okay.
But
I had one more question, but I don't know if it's going to be like a long explanation because I'm just getting into Dispute Panda from doing Metro to another software. But is there some sort of CRM in here that kind of like, because I've used Dispute Fox as well.
Yeah.
But is there a CRM in here that kind of tells you? I mean, I see 21 days and stuff like that, but is it sort of like the same as Dispute Panda? I mean, I know it has way better attacks and stuff like that, which is why I came over here. But
right.
But I know just going from Dispute Fox, is it kind of like the same thing? I mean, is it like a real big curve?
So okay, so I'm gonna tell you, because I was a Dispute Fox user as well, so I like to keep it funky. I was a Dispute Fox user as well. If you're looking, so remember that the Dispute Panda standard is a CRM. It just doesn't allow the client to communicate with you. Okay. If you are wanting the client to communicate with you, like how Dispute Fox has it, you would have to switch over to the Pro, and that's what that safe client access portal is available once you go to the Pro. Now, some features that you would have to integrate, which is why he has Kong automations that can connect to the software. You have the ability, you don't have all the abilities within Dispute Panda Pro that you do have with Dispute Fox, but you do get the client relationship where they can talk to you, they can email back and forth, things of that nature. You would have to use Zapier to do like your emails for right now. That doesn't mean
Okay.
that in the future, as it grows, you won't have the ability to do that. But right now, that component that Dispute Fox offers is not in the Panda Pro as of yet. But if you're wanting that dual facing where you are able to talk to the client and the client is able to talk to you, that would be Dispute Panda Pro.
Okay.
And
All
that's
right. Well, I
why
mean, I got a VA to send the emails out and stuff like that, but I don't necessarily need that, but it's nice to have.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to, like I said, Kong Automation, he is getting us discounts for everyone that's in Pro. Kong Automation is like $99 a month, I believe, but you're getting like 30 days free and you get a 20% off discount going through them. So that is an option. But yes, if you're wanting both faces like you have with Dispute Fox, it would be Dispute Panda Pro. That would give you that capability.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
My pleasure, darling. Okay, so before I jump to you, Mr. McCoy, 1 second, there was a question in the chat. And y'all ain't gonna have me here all night now. My name ain't Dominique. Now he good. He good. He got, his wife love him and everything. Hold on now, because my husband would leave me to go to another room because he know I'm crazy. But hold on 1 second. Let me set this timer so I could be respectful of y'all time. So we have a question in the chat that says, I'm facing eviction and financial hardship. I desperately need to raise my credit score to 620. I'm 60 points away for a house loan or to secure a home, but a cosigner is needed, which is me. What is the best route to raise my credit score? I'm trying to do credit authorization. So yeah, those are options, but I think that what we normally miss out is what are the gaps in your current score right now that's stopping you from getting to that 620. The reason that I'm saying that is your credit score is broken into 5 components, right? You have your payment history, you have your utilization, you have your age, you have your credit mix, and then you have your inquiries. When you're pulling your credit report, you can then look and see what areas am I needing to focus on. Let's be clear. The two that are worth 10% each is only 55 points. So your inquiries is 55 points. Your credit mix, if you have installment versus revolving, is only 55 points. Majority of your issue that you're looking at is how old are your open and active accounts. That's 87 points, right? Roughly. Your payment history, which is worth 192 points roughly, and then 160 something points is your utilization. So when you're saying you're wanting to increase by 60%, you first have to figure out what area are you missing in points. Because if it's a simple fix that you say, okay, I'm going to get credit authorizations, I'm going to ask my family members, or I'm going to see if I can get trade lines, that's cool. But if that's not the area that you're missing points in, then you getting that is not useful. So is it your utilization that is definitely a concern, or is it the age of your accounts because you don't have anything over, or are you missing points in that arena? Or is it that your payment history sucks and you're missing points in that area, right? So to answer your question, it's not a simple, I can't just tell you, go do this and it's going to completely fix your situation, because I don't know which parts of that 5 components are you hemorrhaging from, okay? So it would make sense for you to look at what is causing the problem. If your problem is your debt to income ratio from the standpoint of your utilization, then that would be something that you're looking at. But if you're not experiencing a utilization issue, then you'd have to look at what are the other 5 components, where am I falling short, and then create a plan for there. If you want to dive in a little bit more, shoot me an email. I'll drop my email again. It'll be my pleasure to go ahead and talk offline, because I know that's personal. I really appreciate you sharing, and I want to help as much as I can. I'm gonna go, Yvonne, I see you in the chat. I think it's Yvonne. I think I'm saying it right. I'm from foreign, all right? If you need help, I'm gonna go ahead and after Mr. McCoy, I'm gonna ask you, and we're gonna go ahead and look at pulling the report so I can answer that question. So Mr. McCoy, it's you, and then we're gonna go to Yvonne, and then we're gonna go to Miss Wilsina. I think that's the name. All right. What questions did you have?
Okay. I got a quick question. What at what point, as far as the credit builders, at what point do you start implementing them in the repair process?
When I do an audit with my
Like, at
client,
what point do I have my?
when I do an audit with my client day one, if I see that they don't have any credit cards, any credit lines, or anything that like that, it's going out right then. Like, I'm having that conversation on day one. If my clients are okay, or they're not ready to commit, because I have some clients that are like, I don't want to do credit cards, I don't want to do credit lines, I'm not doing it. Then in my email sequences, my education material has that same information throughout that email sequence. So you can either do it day one, because I done told you this what you need, or as you see the stuff falling off and you're seeing that your numbers are not spiking the way that you're spiking, you want them to spike, I'm reiterating, hey, we're at month 6, we're at month 5, we're at month 3. You need to get this on your profile because it's going to help you, right? So I talk about it day one if I see that my clients need it day one when we do that consultation. Great question. Did you have another one? No? Oh, he done lowered his hand by himself. Okay, I see you. Okay, Iwan, you said you need help with adding the credit report to Dispute Panda. Can you get off of mute and tell me, when you say you need help, what's the problem that you're having?
Hello. Yeah, so I have Credit Dino, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not able to connect my credit report like through I don't know how to put it through the Dispute Panda.
Okay. So were you on the call earlier, or you just got on?
I've been on for a little while, but I didn't hear you talk about that.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me go back to dashboard. So when you give me 1 second. Am I sharing my screen? I think
Yes.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me exit real quick. Let me stop sharing, because I don't want nobody's business being exposed. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I don't know why I'm acting like I don't got a phone. Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it in real time. Okay, I got that. Okay.
Hey, hon, I'm trying to do what she's doing too, and it won't let me. It keeps giving me an error.
All right. Well, let's get that together, honey. Hold on. Share screen. Desktop 2. Okay, so when you guys come here and you select Credit Dino, you're saying that when you put the username and password in this software, it doesn't work.
Correct. Mine's giving me an error. It's still saying wrong credentials after I signed up and everything and went to the email and confirmed it. Still saying I got wrong credentials.
Yeah,
Okay.
same here.
You're getting the same here. So what I would like you to do is go back to Credit Dino, right? And I want you to click on Member Login. And the credentials that you have written down, I want you to put those credentials in here and see if you can log in. I'm going to drop this in the chat for you guys.
Are you saying log out of Credit Dino and then try logging back in?
So I'm asking you to log into the Credit Dino with the credentials that you have written down that you're getting the error message for. Okay. Because if you can log into Credit Dino directly with that username and password, then the option would be for you to contact support to let them know, contact info at Dispute Panda to let them know that you have verified that the username and password works on Credit Dino, and that there's an error message that you can tell them, like if you can take a screenshot of the error message and you can include that in your contact. Because normally once you plug everything in here, it normally gets you through, and it should work when you're on the actual platform as well.
Okay.
So Yvonne, were you able to log into Credit Dino under the regular login screen?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, cool.
And I was able to log in. It did let me log in.
Okay, so it did let you log in with no issues. So now go back to Dispute Panda.
Okay.
Click on Credit Dino, put the username, password, and then this should go green for you to do one-click import. If it doesn't, whatever error message you're getting, I want you to screenshot that and send that to the info. Contact us. info@disputepanda.com if you're still having that error message. Because if Credit Dino is letting you in, it should, because all it's doing is connecting the import through the system. If you're getting in through Credit Dino directly, you should not have that problem here. Let me see.
Yeah, so I just had to change my password for Credit Dino, so I'm gonna try to go back to see if it'll work now.
No problem. Let me know. I'm here to help. Let me know. I'm with you.
And who do you want us to dispute it with, or
in the chat, you can click on contact us, and you're gonna actually send the screenshot information to info@disputepanda.com.
I did this like 3 days ago, and I still ain't heard from them.
You haven't heard from them? Okay, what's your login information? I'll send it to make sure that they can check it out.
Okay.
What's your email? That's all I need is your email.
It's Glenn 23 Harris 23 @gmail.com.
And is that Harris like TI or Paris like the place?
Harris like TI.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. You said at what now? I'm sorry.
Gmail.
All right, I'll send a message to support, and I'll let them know that you haven't heard back, and that you have confirmed. But I want you to send a message to them. Make sure that you're putting the client name that it's you. So you want to click on from Dispute Panda, you want to just click contact us. It'll take you here, and it'll take you right here, and I want you to put your name, your contact, and you are the client. Okay, and put that in there so that way they'll be able to see exactly what errors are happening, and that you don't like that. You don't like that at all.
Now, could it be my the documents that I'm using?
No, because the documents have nothing to do with the credentials. When you're on the credit monitoring tab under here, it's specifically trying to pull your credit monitoring information. Has nothing to do with your IDs. So let's be clear, even if all this information wasn't up here, there's still an issue why the system is not registering your username and password.
Okay.
And they need to know that. Okay. So thank you for bringing that to me. Miss Yvonne, is it Yvonne? Or am I calling you somebody else's name?
It's Yvonne.
Hey,
well, my bad. Yes, sir.
What were you able to get in?
Yeah, so no, it said that an account don't exist, which is weird because I'm getting all the messages. That's how I got on this Zoom. So I know my email. I know this is the account.
It's saying the account doesn't. So you're saying Dispute Panda is not letting you in now,
right?
Okay, but you double check the email address and the password.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to do the same thing. Go ahead and contact customer service and let them know that you're having an issue, because now your issue is not with Credit Dino. Your issue is getting into Dispute Panda. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to, basically.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to help you with that. But if you want to give me your email address, I'll let them know on the back office what's going on. What's your email?
It's YVONHEART B as in boy @gmail.com.
All right. I'll send a message to the back office as well and let them know that you're having login issues.
Yeah, I'm trying to create an account now and see if it'll just let me create a new account.
Well, you don't want to do that. If you already have a login and stuff like that, you don't want to do that. Just go ahead and hang tight. Send a message to customer service and just let them know that you're having that issue with logging into Dispute Panda. Because before you were having an issue with Credit Dino, we verified your login information is good. All you have to do is come back here once you're able to get into your Dispute Panda and put your username and password in, and you should be good to go to click import.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure, honey. Before I get to you, Wilsina, there was a question in the chat saying, should you upgrade to Dispute Panda Pro from Capu? I think that's how you say it, Capu. That is completely up to you. I personally use the Pro. I would not be able to tell you because I don't know what your needs are. If you have specific questions, please come off of mute and I'll be happy to answer those. If an account has aged out after 7 years, can that company sell my information to a different collection agency and they start trying to pursue the debt all over again? I have an old repo that falls off next year. So if you're saying it falls off next year, it means it hasn't hit that 7-year window. The question would be, is your state a 7-year window? If your state is a 7-year window and it has not hit the 7 years, then they have all right to sell the debt the way that they want to recuperate whatever they're going to recuperate in the process. That does not mean you cannot dispute and you cannot validate the debt, and make sure that that person that is collecting the debt is legally allowed to do so. And you can also use the Metro 2 coding that is in the software to help you do that. So just to make sure that I'm understanding, if you have not hit the 7 years yet, they have the right to sell that debt. And they're going to do that to collect whatever funds they can collect from that time frame. So great question in the chat. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'm going to go to Wilsina. What questions do you have for me, my love?
Okay, good night. How you doing?
Great, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Okay, all right. So, okay, I'm looking. I think I did something wrong, but I don't want to think I did it wrong. So I'm gonna do the attacks, but I'm using the red column, and I went straight to paralyze, paralyzing first.
You're breaking up for me, darling. Come back. You sound like you went away. You said you did the red attack.
Yeah, and I went to paralyze and touch point right away. Did I do something wrong?
Yes, because that's not the flow. That's not the flow. So you have put yourself at month 6 if you're in the red attack. Even if you're in the blue attack, you're still putting yourself at month 6. So think about the process that you're having a dance, you're having a conversation. At month 6, just like if you knew somebody, right? If you're sending out a month 6 letter, that means you've already had conversations with me, but you haven't. That was your first round, right? So you want to work the plan the way it's set up for you. So my recommendation would be to hold off for the 35 days and start from the top. Don't just pick a letter.
Wait, no, I did the attack, but I didn't mail it out. So I should just start pinwheel now.
Oh, okay. So you said you did the attack, but you didn't mail it out?
No, I didn't, because I heard Dominic talk about this, red or whatever. But it's just tonight I finally got it. I see the chart. It just made sense to me tonight.
Gotcha. Okay, well that's what we're here for. I'm here to make a little bit of sense. So yeah, if you haven't mailed it out yet, put it in your file. Do not send that out. Go from the beginning. Start from month 1. If this is your first letter that's going out, you want to start. If you're doing red, start with the pinwheel. Yes, ma'am.
So wait. So when do you know which one to go with? That's my thing. Like I see white, I see black. Which is the most powerful one? Oh, red is okay. I get.
All of them are all of them are good. The red is more effective. The blue is more efficient. So if you're choosing to go red, you want to follow the flow, and it tells you that this is your first attack is the pinwheel, and it rounds it out for you for 12 months.
And
it tells you the days you're supposed to send it out. Yes, ma'am.
You know something? I did this before, right? And I got 96 points increase on Equifax. But TransUnion and the other one, and they're working on it. Actually, I send the certified mail and the return. It's have to do it over. But what I was trying to say, I did the Paradise before, and I got I got that 96 point from Equifax. So I'm gonna start over, right? Start over the way you started from the beginning.
So I'm a little confused. So I want to make sure I'm answering the correct question. You stated that you downloaded it, but you didn't mail it out. Are you saying that you have mailed it out?
This is the second round. So the
This is
first
the second
round, only Equifax. The first. I mean, I've been sending a long time. They do all kind of stripping it. So I decided I'm gonna go to structure now. So Equifax is doing the one that went out and it went up 96 points, removed 7 things. So now I guess it's next time.
I'm sorry, you're gone again, Miss Wilsina. Hello?
So now tonight I went in everything. So I'm gonna cancel that. Let's start from scratch with everything.
I'm sorry, you're coming in and out. So what I did here was, what should you do? My recommendation is to start at the beginning. So even though you may have sent out the paralyzed attack, I would suggest that you start at the beginning with the pinwheel attack and you mail that letter out. You wait your 35 days and you follow the sequence accordingly.
Okay. So it should be first class and all right, let's see it. Okay, thank you very much. That's it.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I had a quick question.
Yes.
In none of your letters, do y'all have for like collections or charge-offs? I didn't see no 1099-C forms in your letters.
Okay, so we do not have 1099-C forms on in the format because this is a Metro 2 software. So the way that it's working is, if you want to do a 1099-C letter, you would generate that on your own. But
Okay.
we do attack charge off, we do attack collect, like we still attack them. You're just not looking, like if you're looking specifically for a 1099-C, there's not one in here right now.
Yeah, because I had used that before, and it's more quicker because once you consider a debt an income, which your 1099-C is automatically inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
So why shouldn't that be the first letter?
Because if you're not dealing with, so that's a great question. It's not the first letter because that's not normally the first attack that you're going out with. You're clearing out other things before that. So if you have a 1099-C letter, like I do utilize 1099-C. I personally don't send that out until about round 2.
Okay.
So everyone's flow is different. I have another partner of mine who sends out the 1099-C in month 1 with the plan of attack. So she normally does the red attack. So in her red attack, she sends out the 1099-Cs to come to the clients as well. So that when the letters go to the bureau, the 1099-C is going to the actual creditors. Once that information comes back, she's able to then dispute accordingly.
Sounds
but there's
perfect.
not one way to skin a cat, honey. We can skin it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a method, if it was just like a good, like you said, it was a conversation. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if it was a process, because like I said, I just got 20 family and friends I'm doing free credit reports for, or free credit claim just for testimonials. And
Gotcha.
I'm just trying to clean their credit as quick as possible for the testimonials, but just show improve.
Right. So I'm anti free 99. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I'm free 99 with the stuff I do. Always think about the fact that even if you're going to, and I'm telling you this from the standpoint of legality, right? Like from lawyers who've done it in the business as well. One thing that I learned from working with an attorney is that you can do pro bono work, but pro bono work does not always mean free. It can be reduced price. So you have to also, while you're doing your 20 family and friends, make sure that you're compensating in other ways. Your affiliate marketing, do you have an affiliate marketing so you're getting paid out for the credit?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I'm doing that. And shipping fees and just mailing fees. That's it.
Come on, somebody. Okay, now that ain't free. So that means you're getting a little something. I like it. Pro bono. That's the new word that we're gonna use. We're gonna use pro bono because that can be reduced or it can be free. And one of the tips that I always give out is send them what it really costs to do that service. I send an invoice, even with my clients that are in my special program, they get an invoice that shows that whatever package that they're in, they're getting it at this price, but this is what the price is, so they can understand the value. You get what I'm saying? And that way and also at the end of the year, that's a tax write-off that you can look into. Allegedly. I'm just saying I'm not a
allegedly.
You know that I'm not a CPA. I'm just telling you, I send that information over because now I know how much of my service I've given away for free. You follow what I'm saying? And especially with you building, you have the ability to go ahead and figure out how much is it costing you to do business in a real way. Right?
Thank you. Because I'm trying to figure it out. Like I got 20 new clients and that's what basically the promo for that my services is free, but you're just paying for your mailing fees.
There we go. I like that. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to process. Like I said, my girlfriend, my accountability partner, she sends out the 1099-Cs like when she sends out the first round. I personally wait till the second month. That's just how I do it. But there's no wrong way to skin a cat for you. So if it's working for you, keep running that play. But no, that letter is not in here at this present time. Doesn't mean it won't be in there. It's just not here right now.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. My pleasure. Great question.
Hey, hon, this is
7.
yes.
Okay, what's up, my love?
I'm good. Mine worked. I got everything to show up.
See, sometimes I be knowing. Sometimes I'm smart. I come to work on time and I'm smart. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? You know what happened?
What happened?
I had everything was in there right. But after I went and signed up for what's it called? Credit Dino, I had to delete everything I had in the credentials and put it back in.
Yes.
So then it worked.
See? I love it. I love it. Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. I'm gonna take 2 more questions. I'm gonna jump into the chat real quick. So I think that's Daryl. We're gonna go with Daryl. Hello, I have a question. Have you had any problems with getting old charge off and collection? I'm getting them off for nothing, and I have been trying to get them off for 3.5 years. They're paid and closed. What do you think will help? You still here, Mr. Holland? Let me see. I don't know if he's still here. Okay, so I'm going to answer the question just in case someone else in the room may have that question. Follow the process. I promise you guys, the guide is not here to hurt you. It is here to help you be a beast in these credit streets. So what that means is that normally if you have tried a different method, but you're coming over here, I'm telling you, I've gotten charge-offs removed, I've gotten bankruptcies removed, I've gotten repos removed, and I'm following the same flow. Most of my clients are either in the red attack or the blue attack. It all depends on how aggressive I'm going to be, what package they're in. I personally know that if we're doing double-sided letters, it's a little bit better than if we're doing single-sided letters, right? But if you follow the flow, I promise you're not going to fall or lose sight of what's going on for your client, right? But you have to work the actual plan. So if you guys don't have the guide, as I said at the top of this, make sure you guys download the guide, because the guide is going to tell you how to pivot, how to move, and how to show up for your client. I already answered CB's question about our 1099s good to use. Yeah, I don't dispute that. You said your services are $200 per month. No, so my services, so it depends on what service or what package you're picking as to whether or not if you're paying roughly $200 a month or not. So not all my packages are $200, but I do have a $199 package. Okay, looks like JM was helping out in the chat. Thank you, JM. You my real homie. That's what I'm talking about. what is the email? It looks like he got good to go. I know I'm going to send the email for Miss Yvonne in a moment so that we can make sure that she is taken care of as well. All right. Want to make sure I answered that in the chat. How do you download the guide? Okay, so Sherry just asked, how do you download the guide? I know that the guide was dropped in the chat, but if you guys are in your Dispute Panda, you click on training, it will open up a window for you and you can literally click on free download. It will download the guide to your computer. Okay, again, not to your phone, honey. Okay, to your computer, as my son would say when he's making fun of his cousin, to your computer. So that you have access to it. So you don't have to feel stagnant or anything like that. So you literally, on the Dispute software, if you guys are on the main screen, if you click training, it takes you to the same space. Hold on 1 second. All right, so Sunny is up next. What questions do you have, my love? I'm here for you. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Oh, okay.
Hello, you hear me?
Hey, I
What's
can
up?
hear
How
you.
you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I was wondering, after you submit the CFPB complaint, do you still follow the guidelines for the attack?
Yes.
All right. That was all.
Yeah. I
All
still
right.
follow the flow. Like I said, I'm not breaking the flow. Y'all do what y'all do. Y'all have y'all disputes. I'm still moving through the software, doing the letters and disputing the way that I'm supposed to. This is informative. Love the breakdown. Oh, someone asked how they can meet me.
Another question.
Yes, I got some answers. And if I don't, I'll pretend like I do.
All right, bet. So even though the CFPB is corresponding with the credit bureau, I still going to talk to them through the software?
Repeat the question. I want to make sure I'm answering it right.
Even though the CFPB is corresponding with the credit bureaus, I'm still attacking, right?
Yes.
All right. That's all. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, let's see if we have any. Oh, she said she could Yvonne. You know, I like to give praise announcements, okay, during worship and praise, okay? So Yvonne said that she was able to get in. Yes, friend. Yes, friend. I'm so excited. If you can come off mute, do you have questions now that you're in? Are you good? Are you able to load your credentials, or do you still need help with loading the credentials?
So I just started watching the video to tell me how to load it. Once I was able to get in, it was on the training that you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now, actually.
Okay. So you would actually just click, so you would go to the documents tab. Hold on, let me stop sharing because I want to make sure no personal information is shown. Hold on 1 second. You will go to the documents tab. You want to make sure that you put
I don't see documents.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me go back to sharing my screen. So are you in Dispute Panda or are you still on training?
I'm on Dispute Panda.
Okay, so you see profile?
So
if
no,
you
I don't.
look at my screen, because you've loaded yourself in the system, so your name and stuff is on there, correct?
No, I haven't loaded myself in the system.
So that's where we're having a problem right out the gate. There's no way for you to add the credentials. So are you pulling in your credit dyno or another person's?
Mine.
Okay, so before you can even load the credit dyno in, you have to add yourself as a client first.
Okay.
So you have to go to new client. You have to put your information in there. All of your information has to be plugged in. Once you hit save, you are then going to be able to see yourself as a person, and then you'll be able to see these tabs that we're looking at. But you won't get there until you load yourself in as a client. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, doing it now.
Yeah, so click on clients, click on new client, and then go ahead and make sure that each line you're putting it in. So for instance, when I started, I said I live at 1414 Mockingbird Lane or whatever. This is my address. You're going to make sure that all the information is correct, because this is the information that's going to be generated on your letter. Once you've loaded yourself as a client, you will then be able to open up your profile, and then you'll be able to put your documents in, which is your ID, all of your information, and then you'll be able to do the credit dyno. You can't do the credit dyno portion without having a client to link it to.
Okay, I have a question. I
Yes,
heard you say something earlier about using different emails. So where would I use? Is that here with the new client?
Yes, so when you load yourself as a client, so for instance, your email is theb@gmail.com, right? You cannot use, if that's your login email, you cannot use that as your email for yourself as a client. So you would have to use an alternative email address.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
If you don't have one, go ahead and just make it up, friend. Make it up.
That's not my email address either, though.
Oh no, you said I didn't say your whole email address. I was just saying like just using
Oh,
it.
okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for instance, if my login was mr@gmail.com for me to get on the actual platform, I can't use mr@gmail.com. I would have to use a separate email address.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, this is all new to me. Do I start with Credit Dyno or Dispute Panda? J Mac, are you still here with me? I don't know if J Mac is still here. Okay, I think David was able to answer.
Here.
Oh, hey J Mac. Hi, hon. Oh, you look so nice over there. Okay, so Dispute Panda is the software for you to generate your letters. So you would have to create a Dispute Panda profile. Credit Dyno is the credit monitoring software for you to actually get your score. So to get these numbers, that's what Credit Dyno is for. So to begin, you would want to get the platform so you can load yourself in as a client. Like I was just telling Miss Yvonne, you'd have to load yourself in as a client. And then once you're from here, you can then go ahead and then get Credit Dyno to go ahead and start disputing or getting the ability to do a tax. Does that make sense? So if we want to talk about the egg or the chicken, I guess we'll say Dispute Panda is the egg, and then Credit Dyno the chicken. Depending on how you say it, go first, child. I don't know. Okay. Any other questions you have, my love?
So then I should probably cancel. I just signed up for, what is it? Something ID. I forgot.
Identity
Yes.
Identity IQ.
Yeah.
Okay.
So should I just cancel that?
Completely up to you. Again, I like Credit Dyno because it gives me 7 years of my history. The import process is different with Identity IQ. You can find that in the training. Like when you click on training, it does take you to how you can upload using different softwares. But I personally use Credit Dyno. Number one, it gives you a free attack. Number two, you get 7 years of your credit monitoring, where Identity IQ is only going to give you 2.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions? Nope.
I have a question.
Okay. 1 second, Mr. iPhone. Mr. Glenn,
sorry.
I know your name. Hold on 1 second, Mr. Glenn. Mr. Omar was in front, and then I'm
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What's up, Mr. O? How you living? How can I help you?
But you just basically answered my question. She about the importing so I use Credit Dyno's cool, but I use smart credit
Credit?
or my free score now, either or. But so you basically answered my question with the also hold on one more question.
Yeah.
So I know we're able to do the customary letters in Dispute Panda. Now, say hypothetically, I wanted to do a total script of a customary attack where I'm using just consumer law. Can I do that, or does it have to be a hybrid attack with both?
So you're saying you only want, so let me be clear, the letters that we send is consumer law driven, right? But if you're
It depends on
saying
it depends on the attack. Because
correct,
some of the attacks is just deal with Metro 2. And
right.
then we have the ability to add onto that. Now, say if I want to just generate a whole letter based on consumer law,
Then
that's
you're
what I'm
going to
talking about.
generate that letter yourself. It's not going to be within the platform. Because you're writing consumer law. You're saying you want a consumer law letter. You genuinely want to write a consumer law letter. You're just writing that in Word and putting your client's information on it and sending it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think so in the tab, and then when it says to customize, right? So when I customize the letter and just use consumer law, when I generate it, I don't want it to use any other way to attack, but what I implement it into my customization of the letter, if you get what I'm saying.
So I want to make sure I'm answering the question correctly. So you're saying you're coming in here, let's say you're doing a pinwheel attack.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do a pinwheel attack. You just want to do a consumer law letter.
Yeah.
So then you're not picking pinwheel. You're just writing a consumer law letter and you're generating the letter. You're not even coming into the software at all because that's in essence a free form letter. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you're coming here and you're saying you don't want to put a note in here and make it be in addition to, you're wanting just consumer law by itself, then you don't need to come in here. You just go into Word, you write your letter according to whatever you're doing, you print and mail that letter. Because you're saying you don't want the pinwheel, you don't want the round kick, you don't want the nerve attack.
Yeah, because but if I'm able to customize my own letter and then generate it, then have it met, because listen, if I use the system, I'm able to generate my letter and then have it mailed out through the system as well. So I'm saying if I'm able to generate my own letter and then use the system to use the system to mail it out as what for me.
Right. What I'm saying is we don't have that yet. In this platform and in this software, that capability that you're asking for has not been encompassed as of yet, where you can generate your own letter within the platform and tell the letter to send it out. These letters are generated and they're in here and the AI writes the letters for you based on your clients. So if you're wanting to add a message, you can do that within a round. But if you're saying, I don't want to do a round, I want to write my own letters, that capability of you writing your own letters and having the system mail it out for you has not been activated at this time. Does that make sense? And that doesn't mean that it won't be, because I do know that we have had multiple classes where people have had questions like, hey, I have this letter that I like. Can I add the letter? Right now, the software does not have that capability. As it grows, you may be able to have that option so that you can have that letter. And that way you can save the letter on the platform and then be able to use it again and just change the information with the client, right? But right now, that's not an option.
Okay. All right. I know I was talking to bro, and he was like, yes, that's something like that will be coming though.
Yes, it is coming, but it's not active right now. No, sir.
All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Great question. All right. And Mr. Glenn, I'm ready for you. Come on, big baby. Come on.
Yes, ma'am. So these letters.
Yes.
Okay, so can I ask you what would be my next step? Credit Dyno is synced and everything. What would be my next step to start attacking?
The guide. So we have to go back to the guide.
Go
Have
back
you
to the guide.
downloaded your guide? And which flow are you going to choose for yourself? Are you going to be more efficient? Are you going to be more effective? Or are you going to choose the standard attacks, which is either the white flow or the black flow?
I want to be more effective, right? Which one do you use? Or does it depend?
I'm always either red or blue.
Okay, red is effective, correct?
Red is effective. You got it.
Okay, that's what I want to use, effective.
All right, come on now. So you would make sure you download your guide now. Don't just cheat because I'm in this room now. I ain't playing with y'all. Okay.
No,
Download your guide.
I downloaded my guide and added them to my notes. So I screenshot them and added them to my notes. So I'm good.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? So you want to start with the Pinwheel Super Boost, and that letter does go out certified, and you would be doing the flow in accordance to the steps. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's where you would start.
Pinwheel Supreme. Okay. See, I'm gonna have to hit you up through email because I don't understand this right now.
Okay, well, come on, tell me what you don't understand. So let me ask the question. You can see my screen right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so when you get here, before you can pick an attack, you have to make sure that you save this filter. So the system automatically has highlighted everything that you need to do. You don't have to change anything. If you want to include inquiries, that again, what I said at the beginning of this call is the only time I touch an inquiry is when it's not attached to an open and active account. So when you look at your credit profile, if you know you don't have a Capital One card, by all means, you can click on Capital One. If you know you don't have a One Main, you can click on One Main. Okay, this is the hard inquiry portion. So Miss Ritchie, I think it's Miss Ritchie. Your question is, can this software remove hard inquiries? Yes, you have to select it at this stage. So once you move from the document stage, right, over to the disputing, you have to make sure that whatever you're wanting to do, if you want the system to auto select, which is what it does originally, that's fine. You want to click save filter before you go to the attack round. If you do not save filter, you cannot go to the attack round.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's say I have a Navy Federal Credit Union account, but I have an account there, but I know it's a hard inquiry because I tried to get a business credit card to them.
Gotcha.
So can I click that to have that removed?
So I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you what I like to say. I personally, if you know that the account is way old, you can choose to click it. I would not, because if you only have that one inquiry, just leave it alone. It's not bothering you. You follow what I'm saying? It's not creating a major struggle. I would look at the inquiries that are there that are not attached to an open or active account that you also do not bank with. So if I bank with Capital One, I know I have a Capital One card. I applied for a Capital One auto loan and I got declined because they don't like me, okay? Because I'm short and I'm cute and I'm fun size. And they was only giving credit to tall people. I'm not going to argue with Capital One this go round because I know I have an account with them. I'm going to leave them alone. I'd rather be safe than sorry, right?
Okay.
So look at the inquiries that you know you do not have accounts with, and you can select that. So then you have to hit save if you're choosing inquiries this round. I personally do inquiries on every round if it's not attached to an account. I'm just gonna be honest with you. That's my method that I do. But again, you don't have to start off with inquiries in round one.
Okay.
I have a counter question for that.
Yes, ma'am.
So, so when you say an account, are you meaning like a credit card or even just a bank account?
So anything that is showing on, so bank accounts normally do not show on your credit report unless they have gone into charge-off status.
Right, but I'm saying like if I have a Navy Federal bank account and I have a Navy Federal hard inquiry on my report because I tried to get a card, but they denied me. Since I didn't get approved for the extra credit card, I can dispute that inquiry, right, for that
Correct,
card.
because there's no account on your credit report that
Right.
is linked to Navy Federal. So we're not
Okay.
talking about bank accounts because, again, your bank account does not show on your credit report unless you are in charge-off status or in collections.
Right.
So if you're just having a standalone checking account or something of that nature, no, you're not. That's not a major concern that I would have. But Mr. Glenn, what I wanted to, but that's a great question, Mr. Vaughn. So thank you for asking that.
Yeah, I was just clarifying that.
No
Thank you.
problem. Mr. Glenn, so
Yeah.
once you have gone through, because once you're here, normally, like, this is the credit report that I imported. The system has already scanned anything that's in collections or charge off. So I don't necessarily have to worry about this unless there is an account that I do not want to dispute at this time, right? But if that's not the case, I'm letting the computer do its thing, and I have to hit save before I can go on to the attack portion.
Okay.
Which is where you then go to start new round, and then you would hit the pinwheel attack super boosted. Follow
The
me?
pinwheel. You hit the what?
So you would hit start round,
Okay.
and then you would hit pinwheel attack,
Okay.
and you would hit super boosted.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Okay, once I hit save, right? Save, bam. I hit save. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, I just hit save. When I'm scrolling down, once I get past the inquiries and down into like public records or whatever, if those are all selected, do I leave them selected?
If you want to dispute them, yes. You can leave them just as it is. You don't. So let me be clear. Once you hit save, you're not changing anything because it saved the information, so you can go on to the next step to attack. So you want to change whatever you want to change before you hit save. Am I making sense?
Yes. But if so let's say I had a bankruptcy that back in 2015 that got discharged.
Right.
Do I want to select that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's negative.
Okay.
And my question is, did the system automatically select it for you? So
yes,
that's what I'm saying. If you're doing on autopilot, if you're letting the system do what the system does, you're not changing anything. You might add your inquiries on there, but you're not changing anything because the system has already selected what it knows is safe for you to dispute.
Okay.
Follow what I'm saying? So once you hit save, it's then moving you to the attack, and then you're able to select what letters you want to go ahead and go out for that person.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm here to help sometimes. All right.
Okay. And I gotta go.
Oh, say that one more time for me. You gotta go? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for being here, my love. You have a good one. Also, I didn't catch the beginning of the class. Is it possible to send the recording? We have the next class. Also, does the software remove student loans? LOL. So the software is good for anything. If you're looking for student loans, child support, bankruptcy, work the flow, work the plan, I promise you, you're going to get what you need. The letters are in the Dispute Panda community, which David has dropped the information. He's also dropped the YouTube information on there. I'm going to take this last question, Miss Wilsina, and then we are going to wrap for tonight, and I will be able to help. The question is, how do you get to the guide? If you are in Dispute Panda, you're going to click on training. The very top of training. Sorry, let me close these because I don't open up 700. So once you click on training, it will take you here at the very top of training. It says Dispute Panda Attack Guide. You would click free download and you will have the guide to help you. You select the flow, you work from start to finish. You don't jump. Don't jump to number 7, don't jump to number 8. Start 1 and work your way down. 1 every 35 days. So that is where you would go, and I will drop the guide in the chat as well, so you guys have access to it. Sorry, Miss W, how can I help you?
You mean Wilsina?
Yes, Miss Wilsina, how can I help you?
Okay, so it's 12 a.m. over here in New York. I have a last question here for you. Now, in this step here, I'm not seeing anything for secondary bureau. How do we go about dealing with them?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. You said you're not seeing anything from the secondary bureau?
Yeah, in the steps now, in the red steps. Let me open it. Hold on.
There is no steps in there for the secondary bureau. If you're wanting to send letters to them, you would go into the attack, go under
Manually
start new round, and then hit static letters. And then you have the letters that can go out to the secondary bureaus.
Okay, so I wanna make sure I follow this correctly. When do we send those letters to the secondary bureau using the attack red, the most effective?
You can send it. For me, I send out the letters to the secondary bureau month 1. I do it again month 3, but you would have to see what flow is working best for you. And when I say flow, if you're choosing to send a letter every single month, I would say track that information to see if it's beneficial. So if you're doing yours and your cousin or yours and your friend, you can go ahead and see which flow works best. But there is not a flow for the secondary bureau. Right now, this flow is specifically to the credit bureaus alone.
Okay, all right, so last one. For the static letter, right? Do I include that with the pinwheel letters?
When you say include that, can you elaborate on the question a little bit more?
The static letter for the personal, cleaning up the personal information.
No, I'm saying I want to make sure. Okay, so are you saying that you're sending it at the same time, or are you saying that you're sending it in the same envelope? Like what?
Yeah.
So the static letters, if you're sending the static letters to the secondary companies, it's going to their specific address.
Right. But
So
then there's some static for TransUnion in them as well. Should I include that with the pinwheel or not?
I can tell you personally, I do not bundle letters together. Me personally, I do not bundle together. Now, I have been in Dominique's training. He does bundle for one client. So like he will go ahead and send, he will go ahead and like all the letters to TransUnion, he will send together. I personally do not. So it's up to preference for you as to if you want to do it or not. I would say try it one way, 1 month, see what you get back, and then try it another way the following month and see if you like that. But I personally send out all my letters individually.
Okay. All right. So when the guy said first class, do we put tracker on that?
I'm sorry, do you put what?
For first class, do we put tracker? Send them with a tracker?
First class is just regular stamp at the post office. The tracker is the certified mail. So the only ones that you're doing certified mail is your 1st and 7th letter.
Yeah, 1st and 7th. Wow. So how do you track them? You just use the date as a guide? The response?
When you say track them, what do you mean? Do you mean when you're sending your letters out or when they're responding to you?
When they're responding.
So when you send out your letter, they have 30 days. So normally the guideline is you're sending the letter, you're going to allow 5 days for it to get to them. Again, if you're using the tracker and they're processing accordingly, you should know a little bit sooner than 5 days because it normally gets there a little bit faster, a little bit. But if you're allowing them 5 days to get the letter, 30 days to process the letter, and then you're pulling the report. So you should be getting information in the mail. You follow what I'm saying? So you don't have to track it because you should be getting responses. Now, if you feel like you are not getting responses from the credit bureau, you haven't received a stall, you haven't received anything, you can come here and get a right, and then send it out with the last round that you had. Or a failure to respond letter. So if you get to a place, not even a stall letter, because a stall letter, you normally get that document that says, hey, we did not process for whatever. But if they are not responding to you, which means you send out your rounds, you have not gotten a response back from the credit bureau, you're coming into the attack, you're clicking on start a new round, you're clicking on static, and you're clicking on failure to respond.
Okay. Static failed to respond. Okay.
So static is if you get a response back saying we ain't did nothing. Have a good night. We think you working with the credit bureau. A failure to respond is you've heard crickets. So
Okay.
how you know your client, how you know they've gotten your documents is because you've gotten documents back. Am I making sense?
Yeah, yeah. So in all of this, 1 through 6, we would never need to have proof then. Because I remember he was talking about, so, I mean, I didn't go through it as yet. I'm asking a hypothetical question.
Okay.
So they can say 3, for instance, that letter that's going out there doesn't have nothing to do with no tracking.
Correct.
Okay, okay, all right.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are not tracked.
Nothing. Okay, good.
Correct.
All right, because I was real hung up on the 35, trying to get, you know, the status of every single piece that's going on. Okay, I got it now. I think I got it now.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you
And
very
also,
much.
my pleasure, my love. Thank you for coming, guys. As far as the next time I see some direct messages in the chat asking about the next time that we will be able to meet. If you are in Dispute Panda, you have signed up for the software, you will get an email alert for the Wednesday class. If you guys are pro members, you will get an email for the Thursday class. We are now in week 2. We have week 0, week 1, and now we're going to go into week 2. So you will get an email that will literally have all of the information on there for you, my loves, so that you guys can come into the Zoom room. So the next class that I will be coaching will be Wednesday. I will be in Thursday's class, okay, being a beast in these credit streets, listening to Dom. Mr. Rock on coaching out there. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please feel free to go ahead and reach out. I'm so excited. The questions tonight were amazing. But we are going to be here Wednesday. You will get an email for you to click on the Zoom for you to come into the software. Last round, does anyone have any additional questions? All hearts and minds are clear. Hopefully, if you guys have new questions, you can definitely pull up on me on Wednesday. It'll be my pleasure to help. Other than that, guys, JM, thank you for being super dope and being an awesome moderator. David, as always, my co-host is Litty, all right? And if you guys are there, all of our classes are recorded. So anyone that has a question, all of them are recorded. JM has dropped the YouTube. You're so awesome. But thank you guys for being beasts in these credit streets. Thank you for giving me your time on this Monday. I know it is late on the East Coast. I am still Central Time, so I'm up here. I'm gonna let y'all go. Be great. Thank you for being awesome. If you have any questions, concerns, make sure you bring the questions back. I will be here on Wednesday. I'll be happy to support. And Dispute Panda is here to help you. Remember, they are here 24/7. If you don't know, like if you're like, okay, I'm going to be using the software, we're going to figure out how we can maneuver, go ahead, write down your questions. I will be here on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central to zip and zoo with y'all. Bye. My pleasure. Okay. Go ahead and everybody be waiting on the last at the end like it's a Marvel movie. I promise. I'm just trying to figure out how to stop sharing my screen. You guys have a great night.
Good night, Raquel. Good job.
Thank you. You guys have an amazing one. Bye, guys.